40 minutes. And we are going to go live. We're going live in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, buddy.
Is this recording? Do we have this mic on?
Yep.
Lovely, 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 lovely.
Yeah.
It is June 2nd, 2019. We are on Musicians Shop Talk. And today we have a good special guest, bigedude33.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. So, Eric Phillips.
That is me.
Yeah.
Hi.
Also known as Big E Dude on 33 on YouTube. So you're known for a couple things, and what are those things?
Gaming and musical comedy, and then saying "Yeah, buddy" in an order.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, like, it's so funny. It's so funny.
I really know. Like I was watching it. I was observing it for about a week or so when I realized that you were such a big YouTuber. I was like, he has 100,000 subscribers.
It's that alone. It's still crazy how the whole journey on YouTube has happened lately.
Yes.
And just that stupid theme song. There's so many people that know that. It's just really ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Gaming and musical comedy. Yeah, buddy. I do it really bad, but I was doing it like satirically all week, in preparation for this. So like, how did it start off for you though? Like, you know what? Maybe better yet. Where did your musical life start?
My musical life started, basically, the thing that's I really think of that when I realized that music was something I was really, really into was, it was like a Christmas Eve mass. And I think I must have been 4 or 5 at the time. I'm just singing my little heart out, and
You're really going for it.
I was just in the pew. I'm just chilling with my family, and I'm just singing and singing and singing. And this girl who's probably like, I don't know, 20 or something, but she was really, I just remember being like really good looking, you know.
You're
she
really
said,
polite
you
about
had a
that.
really lovely voice. And I was like, thanks. I
Oh,
just
that's
thought
getting
it
me
was cool.
attention from chicks.
And then
That's how I started.
I mean, really, it's like, it's all
Oh,
about
I see.
the love from the women's.
Wow.
And, I've always loved music. And
Eric Phillips, modern troubadour.
yeah, for real.
I love it.
That's
That's.
if only it worked, though. No. Oh, man.
Dude, don't play their game. They're always trying to do something. If you play their game, they'll.
Not worried about it. I had a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm a misogynist now. I'm kind of
Wow.
left. I'm pretty left wing, but I mean, I guess maybe I'm a little bit anti-PC for left wing.
Wow.
Anyways,
There you go.
I mean, I think that, basically.
Fourth wall, little Deadpool action.
Yo, we're on here.
Yeah.
It's live. But
Our
so-
2 fans.
Yeah, the dead wall.
Oh,
the
Wall
fourth
of the
wall.
Dead. Okay.
But I don't know what that connection is pretty interesting. You just like, we all do things that it's like, oh wait, somebody else seems to think I'm good at this. It's like you don't even see yourself from the outside that way. You maybe just
It's being observed, or the observer, observee.
Yeah.
You're just doing your thing, and then you realize that, oh, people like that I'm doing this, or they
Yeah.
think I have an aptitude for it. And I mean, that's kind of how that's the one moment I could just think of like that I can recall.
Okay, and that was like was like the cellular moment. That was like where everything started budding.
Probably
it was the seed. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that was when I realized it, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were probably doing it because everybody else. I mean, singing in churches where a lot of people,
I was loving
got,
it.
I mean, there's a historical context too. I mean, basically, church was how everybody got their music throughout all of time.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And secular music is a very new thing over the past couple hundred years that we even have music outside of church. But one couldn't have come from the other, oddly enough. So it started off with a lot of like hymns and things like that. Hymns and chant. Did you do Gregorian chant?
No.
Like,
It's funny, I can't say this. Like, there was a question on one of our finals recently, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't actually say stuff. I can talk about that stuff, but.
Oh, yeah,
Some
yeah.
people
You have
ask,
to be careful.
who is Gregorian chant? They thought it was an actual person. I was like, oh,
Well,
God.
That's actually
Pope
sounds like a cool
Gregory.
rap name,
Pope
you know?
Gregory was
Yeah.
a dude, but it's off of the Gregorian era.
Right.
But Gregorian chant. That
Oh,
sounds.
I
like,
know the answer.
Yeah.
No.
But
He wasn't answering.
well, we're supposed to be. We're
Yes, I
supposed
am-
to be
I am aware.
We're educated
Oh, yeah.
masses.
Gregory was a pope.
Fourth wall.
Yeah, buddy.
Fourth wall. But yeah, he was. I think it's odd that music it was monks up until like the 1700s mostly. So okay, that's where you started. Now, where did it evolve from there? And you know, I guess like yeah, how did things
Gosh.
continue on?
Well,
from
I
there?
mean,
More so.
basically, I remember just being in choir or chorus or whatnot, and in fourth grade there was like gifted and talented stuff. Then they wanted me to be in it, so I was like, "Ooh, I'm gifted or talented," like all these things. And then this all the things that keep the ball in motion. I saw that there was when I was in fourth grade there was a bunch of kids singing in the mass that I was attending, and I was like, hey, I know all those people and I am friends with them and I like to sing too. How do I do this? Next week I was there, and then just the all counties and just realizing that there was maybe something that there was a reason that I was good at this. Maybe this is something that I could steer my interest in life towards, and long story short, yeah.
I think you've done an interesting job of fusing that into your life for sure. I mean, that is your job, and you get to teach kids every day. And honestly, I was thinking about it. Watching some of your songs on YouTube.
They're ridiculous.
And I was like, this guy. Some kids get to be this guy's musical student, and he has 400,000 views on this absurd, ridiculous, funny video.
I like gas station pizza.
Oh yeah.
What are our favorites? Gas station pizza's good.
It spoke to me, man. So many times drinking. And,
Leroy
2 o'clock in the
Jenkins.
morning.
Leroy Jenkins. That one did it for me.
Leroy Jenkins. that particular
one I
World
love.
of Warcraft. That's over 10 years old now.
Oh really?
The actual,
was that
thing
World of
happened.
Warcraft era?
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
Well, that's where the Leroy Jenkins thing came from.
What is that about? I don't know. I'm not a World of Warcraft.
There was a bunch, really quick sum up. There's probably, I don't know, 10 characters. They're about to do a dungeon raid or something.
Yeah.
And Leroy Jenkins decides all right, let's do this. And he goes in by himself while yelling Leroy Jenkins. They all die, and it's it's one of the best clips on the internet. And it's early YouTube, it was one of the first things. It might not even have debuted on YouTube. It might have been one of those albino black sheep things.
Is it a little GIF thing, or is it just
no? It's a video.
It's like an internet.
It's like a video.
It's
like a gaming video. It's
I've seen
probably
those.
yeah.
I've seen those.
It's probably the first. They're all on an old school Skype.
It's like that
call or
one
something.
South Park episode where they're in there doing it almost voicing over characters from World of
Something
Warcraft.
like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't watched South Park in a while.
There's a whole episode where they're doing World of Warcraft, and there's this one guy that is just murking everybody in the entire universe.
Yes.
And he's just a guy and they show him occasionally intermittently.
He's like the human
throughout
version
the
of
video.
Jabba the Hutt. It's if you picture that, instead of all the kids. They're
It's
sitting
really
there,
bad.
and Eric's mother's coming over. Eric Hartman's mother's coming over. He's Mom, bathroom. She's coming down with a bucket and just
Oh
shit
my
and sitting
God.
in the chair. He won't get up to piss or shit or nothing. It was hysterical,
But they did almost an entire South Park episode with World of Warcraft characters and doing voiceovers and stuff. I'm pretty
That's pretty
sure.
cool.
So I think it might be something along those lines. If I'm assimilating correctly, maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about.
On a tangent, do you know that they make all of those episodes in 6 days?
Like,
Oh yeah, no,
every
they
single-
they
there's
were
like
still-
a
do they
huge
still-
documentary on it.
Yup,
Like it
I
was
seen
right
it.
after the Book of Mormon. It's insane, like how much they do in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, they're
Do
so
they
good
still-
at it at this
insane.
point.
do they still physically like do?
No. They did
have
away with
better
the
editing
construction
machine,
paper
they
a
would never
long
ever
time
do
ago.
that.
But
But
that's
that's
pretty
amazing
crazy,
where
too.
it came from.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
but they still try to recreate that look though, even having it done big.
Yeah, they have it. They
It's
have it
almost
down
20
though.
years old, isn't it?
Oh god, it's probably even
or
older
more
than
than
that,
that,
man.
yeah.
At this point.
Better than Simpsons. Oh
crazy.
shit, hot take.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
This
You're
is
just
way
salty
better than-
because
way
of
better
that-
than
that
the Simpsons.
CMY episode.
I actually encourage that. I think
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
I mean, fix the potholes, alright?
They're
Fix the
both-
potholes.
they're both important parts of pop culture.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is, the Simpsons just did upstate New York. You know?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
hilarious.
That's what.
That's what we're just talking
Yeah.
about.
Didn't
Yeah.
they do an episode on Utica, like making fun of Utica? They did a whole song.
Well,
I
they
think.
that
Well,
was,
they
that was
threw
from that
everybody in
episode.
there. A
I
little
saw
bit.
it on local news, but I didn't
Yeah.
check in to see.
They
what
said
it
that
was
the
about.
it showed the population going backwards,
Oh,
and you gotta
It's
go
Crumbling
from-
infrastructure as they're driving
Yeah.
through, races are crumbling.
They
down.
showed downtown as like a decrepit
Yeah.
like warehouse, like.
But it actually had the clock. You know,
It did. It was
you know,
in the
it was
dome. Did you
Utica.
see the
yeah.
the bank's dome there in the
Yeah,
back too?
and
So we got that one
Yeah.
Office episode. We got the one Simpsons episode going for us.
Oh yeah. No,
Not
there's
bad,
two
yeah.
episodes of The Office, man. I love
Yeah.
The Office. I know there's two
Two.
episodes.
Is there two?
Two.
yes, the Utica branch,
Utica branch. There's two different
Thunder
episodes.
Mifflin.
So, now, basically, so what did your game start? Did your YouTube channel start off as the gaming, or
Oh no,
it
it's
was the
gone through
songs?
multiple things.
was the
The
songs.
first, not even the first things that was the YouTube thing was even designed for was to, you know, give the kids, my students, like some voice lessons like,
Oh,
like
yeah,
outside
yeah,
of
yeah,
school. Like
You're telling me.
it was just, you know, this. It started in 2007, the channel, and the first videos that I ever made are still up there. They're basically little things like, and I didn't like what other people were doing, where they were modeling and singing their vocalizes at the same time. Mine is just, you know, playing the piano so you can just sing along with it.
Oh, okay.
Because that was just
You
what
just
I
didn't
wanted
think it was
to do.
there. It was
you
just
know.
not there for people. So you're like, okay, shit. I'll
It's like
make one.
they can watch it anytime. It's like they don't need to hear me; they just need to hear themselves matching the pitch. Because at that point, there were still plenty of people that were doing those sorts of things. But for me, it's always just do what I want to do in a way, and maybe something will hit, maybe something will stick, maybe it won't. And that's. But those first videos, like over 11. Jeez, oh my God, over 11 years ago, they're still up there. You
Well,
know,
that's
it's
cool.
kind of
You've
crazy.
accumulated a following over the last 11 years.
Dude, yeah, 112,000
Is
it
112?
subscribers plus. It's
And,
plus 112 now.
It's kind of crazy the fact that anybody watches.
You know,
this.
you're an extremely endearing, warm, you know, hilarious individual. I don't
Well,
see
thank
any
you.
reason why people
Thank you
wouldn't.
very much.
Ask
When
now,
I watch
or-
it, yeah. Would you like to go on a date? And
No,
then
I like
maybe-
girls. Sorry,
Kurt apparently
sorry,
doesn't.
Yukon Cornelius.
More PC than he thought. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm so self-deprecating at this point.
That's all right. That's part of my life, you know.
So okay, wait. I used to like Tenacious D, but then I found your channel, and I'm like, this guy's even better.
You know,
Like, it's
yeah.
even, it's even
Jack
better.
Black's
A
played
lot
out.
of people,
Jack Black, you know, he's had his day in the sun. Let's elevate this guy. This guy is where it's at.
you know,
He's the next level.
it's kind of funny because a lot of times, back when it was a movie that everybody knew about, everybody, you know, School of Rock, a lot of people said, oh my God, that's like Mr. Phillips there. And it kind of is just, it's like my personality, except I was actually the music teacher, not a guy pretending to be a music teacher.
They're probably broken. Like,
You know, the
I
amount
watch
of,
that over and over again.
you know, and it's just, my personality is, I like to have fun. You know, the fact that I get paid to do all that garbage is hilarious to me still,
Yeah.
after doing it. This is like almost 22 years. And it's still crazy that, you know, that they still pay me to do this. And it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's like it's
In a good way.
when you
Good
started getting, it's like, wait, I started getting money from this.
Yeah.
It must have been like that. It
It
was,
was,
like I can't even believe
yeah,
it.
and just like, so, you know, I've taught in different places. This is in Utica like 15 years
Okay.
now. So,
Yeah.
with your dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I work with his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hi, his dad.
Fourth wall broken.
He might be watching right now. That's why I did
I think we have a.
We have one viewer. Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
We might get more viewers eventually, though. They
Maybe.
usually come on and
Probably.
check it on
You
later.
know what you need to do? You need to do a little solicitation on Facebook newsfeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is-
I should have like.
Should I
posted
show-
something,
should I-
but-
Yeah, because
Should I
people
show
pay
a little
attention to you,
skin?
You know.
Well, they sometimes.
Should
Try
I
to
should
see
I
a clear
do
curve.
should I do the internet equivalent of show a little skin? Yeah. I think they already have
Wow.
websites for that.
I just.
Probably. I hear
Whoever's
that they
watching this,
might.
please
I
vote
hear
to
that-
have Curtis's
I hear
post
that
kept
they
on.
Yes.
have websites for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
These days.
let me fact check
Wow.
that for you.
Would you like to check it out?
I don't.
No, we don't
no,
need to.
we don't.
We're
The computer will
We're
crash.
hooked into the
For
From
real.
malware.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you,
That's
little
good.
HP. You're
Yeah.
doing great, buddy.
Okay.
Good job. You're doing your thing. But so look at how did the idea of making absurd, funny songs develop? Where did that come
Yeah.
from? Like, where does that
Well,
come from in your
That
personality?
was, you know, I
The
I
love for
want to say
absurdity.
just I used to always we all like a group of us in growing up. We would always change the words to the songs that we had to sing in our chorus thing.
Oh.
And I want to say that my dad probably did some of it, a little bit here and there. Even my mom did some of it. They're both really they were both kind of warped individuals, but in a good way, you know. My mom's still around, my dad's not. But it's just having that wit, that sense of humor and it's almost being able to improvise. You know, some people have a true gift for creating stuff that's just in the moment or whatever, and that's what this stuff. You know, that's something I realized at a young age, that this is something that I know how to do. Lyrically, just I don't know how. Like, you know, you just you set some parameters and you just go.
Yeah.
You know, like what are you gonna sing about? What key is it gonna be in? Do I have a chord progression? You know, just something like just all you need is that, and then just
Yeah.
do whatever. It's
And honestly,
crazy fun. You know, it's just crazy
yeah,
fun.
I think that you have like there's some of your songs that have like some neat intricacies to them. I've seen some of them have like some nice pretty little like some like I forget what the one song, it was like it was like a cathedral song or something. I don't know what it was. You have so much stuff up there.
I really do.
Yeah, and what is so wait, so how did you okay, I want to talk about the evolutions of your channel though. So
Okay.
it started off as
It started off as music lessons for kids.
music lessons,
Yeah.
like warm up, those warm up
Yes,
routines.
warm-ups
I saw
and
those.
stuff.
I saw
Yes.
those. I saw the warm up routines. So wait, now where did the ideas morph from there? Where do we go
All right,
from there?
so there's really like probably 4 real main things that I can define as. Like, first off, started off with the warm-ups for the kids. And then I started doing, and these videos aren't even there anymore. Basically, it was improvisational vlogging, where I would talk about whatever, and then at the end of it, I would make up some sort of song on piano or guitar, talking about what I just talked about.
okay,
They're all
Improvisational
gone.
vlogging.
Yeah, because like they were all like 8 minutes long. This was before you should have 8-minute long videos.
Oh yeah, that was back.
It was a
when
long time. This
you
is
needed
like
the cat video.
2007.
You
Yeah.
needed the cat video that was like
a
13
minute,
seconds
if
long.
that. And you know, I didn't know what I was doing. But then I got into watching like TV shows and commenting on that.
Okay.
Like Lost
Like
and
reviewing,
Heroes.
or like
yeah.
You like video reviews and stuff.
And then
a lot of people do.
then like I was doing a lot of open mic nights just with a group of us at what used to be the Electric Company.
I
which
remember
is
that bar.
No longer there.
Where was that?
It's on Barrack Street.
It was on Berry
Yeah.
Street, yeah. Is it anything else now? or
It was
that.
It was Shots, and then it was Wakely's, and Wakely's is now closed again.
Yeah, I
Or-
saw that
so
the other night. I was.
Someday it'll be something that hopefully people play music because it was cool. It's a
Yeah,
really
it was
good music
alright
place.
place. I
But
was dancing to Latin music with a lady
Oh.
recent. Oh yeah, never mind.
All right.
Well, like maybe last
Maybe
year.
later.
Maybe
But
last
anyways,
year.
and then that they're putting the silly songs up on there kind of hit because
Where
most of that
did
stuff.
that come from? That's what this podcast is about.
Honestly,
that's what we want to know. That's the good
it
stuff.
just was some of the songs on there, like especially like the "I Love Chicken" song is one of the
Yo,
it's one of the most ridiculous like stories of all time. Basically, all right,
let's run this down.
all right. Here's the quick story of this. All right,
Okay.
it's August 21st, 2009.
Holy shit, he has the date.
It's easy. It's on the video. You can see it.
Or
But,
I was wondering
alright,
like
back
the
then-
idea for the idea.
So it's
Okay,
the
go
end
for
of
it.
summer,
Yeah.
almost. I'm getting ready to go back to teaching. I'm bored. I don't want to go out drinking yet because it's like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And so I said I'm going to make 5 songs in a half hour, and
Wow, that's a great musical exercise.
and I hit record on the thing, and I did not have a chord progression in my head when I hit record. I just started playing, and in the first 2 or 3 seconds, I get the chord progression in my head. I have no lyrics. I don't even know what the song is going to be about. And then
Wow.
it just happens. That is, and like 2 or 3 of those songs from those 5, I think, are still up. And I don't remember. I think the "I Love Chicken" song was.
I see the couple that
The
are
fourth or
in
fifth
that,
one, I
that
don't
original that first apartment video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and like it just I wasn't trying not to blink in it. If you watch the video,
I remember you do
I'm
something
just
about the
in
blink.
the zone, and then
Yo.
I blinked, and I wasn't trying not to blink, but it's like. So, anyways, somewhere.
No, there was one episode one video where you go, and you like audibly say blink.
Yeah, I did that like on purpose.
Oh,
It
one
became
of
like a
them.
thing.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
there's
I got
something
in the
about
zone.
the blink. There's something about the blink.
And well, the funny, so that's like a minute and a half of my life right there. And so some of the people, one of the guys that owns the bar, I was on the dart team with him, with Z. I don't know if you know who Z is.
We have some friends in dart leagues.
Yeah, but anyways, like he
Shout
shows
out
this
to John
song.
Griffith.
He shows this song to this guy. And I
Yeah.
go, okay, and I didn't know it was Rain Man from K Rock, and he put
Oh
it
my
on
God.
K Rock.
No, he didn't.
Like it played like 20 times in like 2009. I actually,
No way.
I
On
actually-
K-Rock locally.
yeah,
cool.
I
Sweet.
performed that song at the New York State Fairgrounds in front of
Stop.
front of
I
15
can't believe this. This is great.
1,500 people on Halloween.
Get the fuck out.
And it's ridiculous. And every now and then he'll like still throw it up on there for just so we're, because this is like almost 10 years old. And for me it was just like when I hit record on that thing, like I did not know.
Your obligation was like, I'm going to write 5 songs.
It's
and
like to myself, like it's a creative exercise. It's really all it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly.
And one was I think was like sing a song about all the sexually transmitted diseases in 60 seconds, I think, or something ridiculous. But I
came up with, like-
did write that down. But
You
I didn't
came
have
up
to
with
do it.
goals like this for yourself at certain times.
I have done goals sometimes because I mean, it's something about when I'm creating something musically, it makes me feel like I'm alive. I can't really explain it anything better than that. It's like I love to create something out of nothing or just out of an idea, but I don't like to. I'm not one of those types of people that wants to edit anything or I just do it once. And it's what we got. Sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle. Sometimes it's a big old turd. But it is what it is. Let other people decide. For me, it's just like it's catharsis. It's like getting an idea, just making something, and then there it is.
That's
You know?
that's a lot of the way I felt about this show. I moved home in August from Arizona last year, and I was talking about starting this show like for a long time, and I was just like, wait, it's gotta look right and it's gotta be perfect, and like, no,
There's no
absolutely
such thing,
freaking not.
man.
Absolutely freaking not. It doesn't have to be. It can be just kind of raw, and people will come to like it for
Yeah.
what it is. It doesn't need to be something that is high art. You know, the thing is that so many normal people probably just appreciate what it is that you do. It's not this uppity thing that needs to be appreciated by intellectuals. It's something that everybody likes.
You know, like I'm a lowest common denominator type of person. You know, yes, I have a master's in music education. Yes, I have. You know, I took all those courses. I graduated, you know, cum laude or whatever the heck it was, or what I don't even remember. From the same place that he actually graduated from.
Yep.
Crane School of Music.
We got a little
Crane
plug. We got a little crane plug here.
And, you know, so I've got that knowledge, but the thing that, you know, in my career is teaching. The music stuff, the making music, it's fun. It's something I never wanted to try to make a living off of, like the composition or the goofy songs or whatever. But you know, in this day and age, you can make a dumb song like this "I Love Chicken" song, and you can put it on iTunes, and you know, and at least 500 people have bought it over the last few years, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hey, people!
Fourth wall broken.
I think it is. Does that say Joe? I think it is Joe.
Yeah.
Love you long time, Joe.
Yeah. Shout out to anybody that may be checking to the live stream. Yeah. This guy, I mean, I think you're way below your pay grade being a public school music teacher. But then again,
right though.
I'm sure you. Okay.
The longer you do it, the more they give you. So
yeah, it's the rising incentives.
It's kind of a cool deal.
Yeah.
Like if I had a family, I could support them, but I only have myself, so I have a lot of disposable income.
Man, you know what? Honestly, you dodged some bullets, I think.
Wow.
I was married, and I was happy and she wasn't. Long story short, but you know what? Luckily, my former wife, and I like saying former because it's just. There's no bad blood.
It's because you're friends.
Probably.
Yeah, you may be better as friends.
I wish her the best and everything, and yeah.
Maybe you guys came to just realize that you're better as friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she realized it first, but but like I said, it's all good. That's why I think more people should use former rather than X, because
that's just a nicer way of putting it.
X only works if it's with X-Men, like with mutants and comic books and stuff,
X-Men.
But like X this, X that, X, it's just there's a negative connotation to it, and because how many horror stories have you? Oh, my ex did this and my ex did that.
This is a conversation I'm walking.
It's always something. Yeah, it's like okay, bye.
And it's like you're.
You're obviously not happy about the situation.
Yes, this is the way this is.
Oh, chap.
Yeah, I find that people do get caught in things a little bit longer. And the thing is that it's like, if you're not supposed to be here, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's be somewhere move. And we move on and we move up. And we develop in different ways, and we do more gaming and musical comedy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So, what about talk to me about the way you feel about certain video games. I don't know what I'm not. Talk to us about your gaming.
Oh, okay. Well, kind of
put that on.
A lot of the gaming stuff really stemmed from knowing how YouTube was working, and the way I knew how YouTube
let's talk about YouTube
was working, and like I say was because YouTube is always changing, but
YouTube
2000
is down today.
It was it still might be actually.
We'll see.
But like in 2014 or so, like everything, and I've gone to what's called VidCon, which is kind of a celebration of online video. I'm actually going again in July, and this is going to be the 10th one, and I've been to all 10, which is not very many people. And for me, it was just the first going to VidCon was, do I have a place with all these younger people and this other stuff? And it's like, I've met so many people that do this.
There's plenty of people your age that probably...
Yeah, and just to, to meet and collaborate with other people and just have fun, and I met some people that I'm still great friends with to the day. But anyways, they changed the way that YouTube was running, I think 2013, 2014, somewhere around that time, or 2012. where it was all based on watch time and how long people watch the videos. And what happened was that's where like PewDiePie and all those other gaming channels like that were playing like Call of Duty or whatever.
It was huge.
There's so many videos, you can make multiple videos a day. There's like hardly any editing, and it's just those things are like 15, 20 minutes long. And that's how that happened. And I'll tell you how I got into gaming, because this one day, I wrote this song once after a day of school called the I Love Cheese song.
I've seen that.
Basically, it was about how I love cheese. It was basically, I had a rough day at school, and I was like, dude, I'm just going to sing this crap out. And I did. And I got this email through YouTube. Used to have like an email thing you could send people. They don't have it anymore. This person who makes these custom Call of Duty zombies maps said, hey, I'm making this map, like this, it's all about cheese.
Oh, sweet.
So he put it in as an Easter egg. And this one group of YouTubers that had like almost 1 million subscribers, Next Gen Tactics or Next Gen Tactics Zombies, they watched it, and they didn't watch it. They played his map, and they get to the Easter egg, and they're just dying laughing. And I got like 100 subs in a day, which was a lot, because at that point I might have had maybe 4,000 subscribers. So this was weird, and everybody's right, NGT. I was like, I didn't know what the heck was going on. I never watched a real gaming video until that day. I didn't get it. I'm older. I'm 45. It's just like, dude, why would you watch people play video games? You just play the video games,
That's what I've heard so many people say that. I actually like watching people play video games.
I watched the video.
They're better at it.
Yeah, they're better at it than me.
Yeah, I'm not that good, But I watched them play the thing, and I was like, oh, they're actually kind of funny, and they're talking while they're playing it, and then to hear them react to how I did my song, it's like, oh my god, I get it. I get why people do
Your song's the Easter
gaming.
egg, right?
Yeah.
Your song was the Easter egg in his design, in his custom
it's
map,
called
right?
It's called the Cheese Cube map. I don't like, and
it's so like he
credited
where you got it from.
It hit. Like I get it now. I understand. And then I thought to myself, well, I already know that gaming is like a big deal. But what am I gonna do? And it's like, so I don't have a PS4 or 3 at that time. I don't have an Xbox. So I said, maybe I'll look for mobile stuff, because mobile games I can always play. There's always gonna be more and more mobile games, and it's kind of eventually what hit, with the wrestling, which is just kind of
I saw this
crazy.
WWE like wrestling card game.
Yeah.
Like, how does
Super
that
cool.
work? How does that game work? I was trying to pick up on it, but it was like,
Well-
you're more probably intermediate advanced on me. I was just trying to
Yeah, I
get
wasn't
it.
following that
I
very
was
well
trying to
either.
figure it out.
Yeah,
so
it's
I've
kind of
never
like
seen
a
it. We're not in that community. but we wanna
collectible.
know.
Well, it's like a card game, and your cards have stats.
Okay.
And then you fight other cards, other people, and they'll dance around like doing little moves or whatnot. But all you got, it's really low IQ, but it's high repetition, high fun, and when I first saw the game and I played it, it's addicting.
Really?
It's fun as heck, especially if and I'm very much into wrestling. I was at WrestleMania
Oh yeah, no,
this
it's
last
really,
like a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Nice.
I went to YouTube looking for other people with tips and stuff, and I there was only 3 or 4 videos, and that was where I said to myself,
okay, here's a niche.
this is the niche, and I'm going to fill it
Yeah.
like a boss, and I think I have filled it like a boss.
Yeah, you're like the dude probably on YouTube for this.
Not
game.
as much anymore, but
Yeah.
like when it first, this is in the 5th year that this game has been around, which is just
And
crazy.
then the thing is that from this point, you probably being able to merge your different types of viewers together.
Yeah,
Probably.
and that's what will keep on happening, because a lot of people they watch me for who I am and just what I do, and I'm always trying to promote good stuff, and
I find that you're such an amusing person. Like, I've met you out at the bar after work with my dad or stuff and things like that from time to time. I'm pretty sure if somebody just strapped around and like put like a camera over your shoulder and just like followed you around all day, we would have
would be
non-stop.
bored.
No, like you just your literal reactions to things would probably just be non-stop pleasure. It'd be probably hilarious.
my dad and my mom are very animated people.
Is that what?
And that's just like facial
Genetically.
expressions. Yeah, just I think it's like I don't know, like there's a
I had to work on this, I think.
I grew up in that type of setting.
yeah, like have you ever like here's an obscure reference. Like I just rewatched Dune the other day, so the Kwisatz Haderach of like being an idiot but fun and super nice. So you know whatever.
Oh, that's I
Like this
I don't even
super-
remember what that
super
movie's
guy.
about. I do.
It's about spice and traveling without moving.
Spicy.
It's
stuff.
like sci-fi. That's all. It's like you
Yeah,
know.
it's really.
And worms. There's worms. They're big.
It's in the desert.
Yeah.
It's
They're
scary.
remaking it actually. Like
Are they?
Batista's in it.
Really? Oh, but from
Drax,
WWE.
Yeah. And Drax, if you know
I'm not up to date on
Guardians of
modern
the Galaxy.
WWE. Oh yeah.
the blue guy in
I'm
Guardians.
scrolling through all of the videos that you have here. And
Yeah.
there's one guy who like or a kid or something who put up a video and was like, oh my god, like
There's a girl who has a cover of one of your songs.
33 was in KOTR, so what is that acronym?
Okay, KOTR stands for King of the Ring.
Okay.
It's one of the modes in the WWE Supercard game.
Okay.
Where it's like, it'll start with, depending on what season we're talking about, either 16 or 32 people. It's 32 now. And basically it's like a tournament. And
Okay.
every 3 or 4 hours, like you go to the next round, you know. And
Well, I didn't.
back in the day, people were really, really amped when I was in it. So
Yeah, I was gonna say
you're
I
the
didn't pull up the
walking
video, but
Easter egg.
it's
guessing-
something.
And then it looks like some kid here also did a cover of your song, the I Love Chicken song.
Yeah, there's
a
one,
girl.
There's been
There's a
more than
girl.
one of them. Yeah,
There's a
maybe
girl.
that's what it
There's a
is.
girl that did one.
I've seen a couple of them. I mean, it's always so
That's
cool.
that's gotta be so endearing.
It really is, because you know, like
It's pretty
I
cool,
said,
man.
it's a minute and a half of my life that's brought a lot of joy to people. You know, and it was all because I was bored.
What about
You know, I was bored and didn't want to go out drinking yet. You know?
Idle hands are mischief. So.
It's really
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny that you turned it into these types of songs. These types of that's where I mean, you just like didn't give yourself a second to go on a lot of these and just went, right? Oh
yeah,
my
you
gosh.
and sometimes I had an idea. A lot of them tend to be food related because I like food for like I don't know if you can tell.
Everybody likes
Yeah.
food.
But,
We like food.
Yeah, well I'm a little bit larger than both of you
Oh, I mean
together. You know? But you know, it's just you know, and just make it crap up, man.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
something I know I can do and just have fun with.
You're a creative guy.
Yeah.
I find that, you know, you're just so at home in who you are. You know what
Oh,
it
yeah.
is that you're doing.
I'm
That comes with a
trying to
certain-
be in the moment as much as I can in my life.
You come with a certain amount of wisdom, and you're so able to just be yourself. I don't know.
You know
It's
how
just-
hard it is these days
to really, really,
to
really,
just really
be
be
yourself.
who you are, and I think
Yeah.
that you know it's kind of funny. Like you know,
True full self.
I don't know if, and this is just one of those things. Like if my my marriage had worked out the way like you know a lot of marriages do, like the good way, would I have ever done any of these things? And I would assume no. You know, and it's so
your mind is going to be in that.
it's
place.
like it's just such a
It's the escape. You were
it's-
trying to get away from it.
no. I mean, I'm just thinking of you know so many things like. When you go back in retrospect, you just like you know you change one little thing, and it's you know like an alternate timeline. You can like kind of envision what would things be like,
Yes,
and
definitely.
you know like there's no such thing as a perfect life. There's no such thing as a perfect anything. All right? You know we're just humans going through this journey of our existence. And I just think about it like one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life was that not working out. You know that
Yeah.
and it's because I had the time to do this stuff. I had the time to get bored. I met these other people. It's such a weird thing, like how it all works together, and just some of the coolest experiences that I've had were just because I was bored for a second and just created something, you know.
So one of those goosebump books, you know, you get to like the middle of the book and it tells you to either stay to this page or go to this page depending on what you
choose your own adventure.
Exactly. I definitely relate to
ways to read it.
I would definitely completely relate to what you just said so much. You could definitely the things, and I've heard other people come to that conclusion before, that, you know, the things that didn't work out are the things that were most important to happen, the things that I most needed to learn from. You know, I think that, you know, most of us are always a little too comfortable. I think we all, like, we need to learn how to struggle gracefully. I think that's one of the more beautiful things about what it is that you do.
Yeah.
That like your songs kind of are and even though they're so funny,
they're a break from just whatever, and they're not designed really for anything.
They're like a pattern break. They're just like kind of like a
paradigm shift. Yeah. Even a second, just like what the hell did I just listen to? That guy had a guitar.
There's definitely a hot dog song.
There has been. I don't know if they're still up. There's like all sorts of stuff. Dude, I have a whole album that is just songs about food. It is literally, it's called Foodhemian Rhapsody. Like, just
where can we find it? Where can people buy it?
On iTunes, Google Music, Apple.
Foodhemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, Foodhemian.
I'm gonna buy that tonight.
And it's just you know, the I Love Chicken song is not on it because that's on my first album, which is called Crap I Made Up in My Living Room. Which is the actual, it is still there, and that is where I was when I made all these things.
You're making art that's like a critique on perfectionism.
It's like anti-perfectionism.
Yeah,
you know,
that's cool, man.
It's really
cool.
That is an artistic statement.
And
it is a valid artistic statement.
It's not just, and it goes further than that. Like part of like YouTube, if you ever see a YouTube video, there's like the little thing where like called the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And so many people spend so much time on these thumbnails, and they'll tell you, "Oh, you need to have a good thumbnail, or else nobody will watch your video." I'm like the total opposite. I like, it gives you three that you could choose from, and just I'd pick one of them, and I don't care. There's less than, I've made over 1,000 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's less than 20 that have actual thumbnails that I made.
Yeah.
4 were made by somebody else, so that was easy. But it's just knowing who I am and knowing what I care about. Like, I don't need like a new thing.
Yeah.
I just need to do my thing. And you know, there's still going to be people that check that out. It might not be the most popular thing, and every now and then something hits, you know.
Yeah.
But if to thine own self be true, you know, and that's what I'm doing.
That's
I feel that.
Being true to me.
I feel that.
I'm
That's
just
one of the
having
best ways to be.
having a real good time in this life thing, you know.
Yeah. How do you feel about
everybody should be, you know.
Yeah. How do you feel about that's something that you could bring to kids that they really probably should understand. Like in school, especially as a teacher. Yeah, it's like, you're in middle school, kid. This isn't gonna go perfect for you.
Yeah. You would
Think
be
about
surprised.
Absolutely.
Who had somebody tell me who had a good experience in middle school?
I don't know anybody personally. Well, I have like some people
raise their hands once.
Yeah.
You know, so,
but like in all honesty, like today's kids, you know,
It's hard.
it's hard. Like just the pressures of social media. Wow, to have to grow up through all of that, kids can't really just screw up anymore. Because if one kid captures that on video, it can go all over the world in less than 10 minutes, and that's like on Instagram or Snapchat or something like that. And it's just you see those anti-bullying things on TV every now and then. Like a kid goes like, "Hey, man, yeah." And it's like, "Oh, look, King of the Dorks," or whatever, you know, like, and it's all over their school or whatnot. And that's, kids got to be scared a lot just to even be a kid sometimes.
Yeah, and you know, you can't even, and when you go home,
And it's hard.
You know what? Something might have happened in school that day, whereas, back in, at least in the early 90s, early 90s when I grew up, you could at least be 5, 6 years old, 6, 7 years old, maybe you puked in class, or you go home and nobody else was there anymore. And, today, you have a phone at 9, 10, 11 years old, maybe, and,
it's everywhere.
Something embarrassing happened, and you know what? You open your app again, and you open it up, and open it up, and open it up, and everybody's talking about how much of a loser you are, or something.
Yeah.
And I bet you that doesn't go a good way.
No, and it's not even the kids. It's
and if you're that kid,
the adults.
Well, that's where it always stems from. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
It's the
And
children's
if you're that
behavior
kid,
is
it
always
doesn't
going to
matter.
stem from the
Well, I'm
parent.
just also saying, like, the adults don't know how to
it's only a
just
snapshot in time.
turn off your notifications, or like. There's a lot of people that are just flat out addicted to their devices because they're just more pleasant endorphins and dopamines in your heads and stuff than actually having to deal with some of the crap.
I quit all social media besides this. I'm literally going to post and ghost these until the end of time. These episodes and these shows. I'm going. I don't want to engage with people and get on and off and talk on a comment thread or do any of that. I want to maybe share some insight and some things and some education.
Yeah. And it's hard
interesting
because
people with the rest of the world.
A lot of people don't share that that idea.
I saw something in it. I was cleaning up my life in a lot of ways. I quit smoking cigarettes, and at that time, and it was I noticed that I was still going on Facebook all the time, and I was like, wait, this feels like that same friggin' neural pathway
it really
in
is,
my friggin' brain as what cigarettes felt like. This compulsive blah, 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 what the hell?
Just a quick Google search here. This is self and addiction statistics explain 50% of teens feel the way that they are addicted to their mobile devices. 59% of the parents believe that the teens are addicted to their phones. And then studies show that as many as 26% of adolescents and college students are actually addicted to their phones.
Wow.
So,
yes. I mean, and the thing is that you need to check your email from your professor. That's part of the game. You need to have that all set up. I'm practically off of the grid, but by not touching my personal profile or my personal Twitter or my my Facebook or my MySpace. I don't want to touch my personal one anymore.
What's MySpace?
Remember when it was MySpace?
That may have been a joke there.
You
Chris.
can reactivate.
Why
did we have MySpace?
I actually reactivated mine like a month ago. Just to see what's and oh my god, some of the stuff is still there.
I've done that too.
Oh my god, I felt like it was 2007 again.
It's like, oh, that's gross.
YouTube, 2005.
Oh, that's gross. I don't want to see. I don't want to see my MySpace page.
Oh my god.
I know what's up there. It's bad.
Probably.
Keep it deactivated. No one can see.
Yeah. No one needs to see this.
No one needs to see my
so
friggin'
funny.
MySpace. Oh my
god. But that stuff will follow you if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't think that maybe I don't know if I have what it takes to be a public school teacher, and I'm probably trying to go different ways in my life. But you have to be a special type of person to be able to handle that. And you see things like that in timelines and stories in kids' lives probably go like that.
Well, what's really ironic about that is the person that you should talk to about that is your dad.
Yeah.
Because he left the field after 1 year for 16, 17 years and owned the piano shop.
Yeah.
And now
I
it's
see
like
shades
he loves
of that in myself. Of
he
course.
loves, dude. I've never seen somebody really just love what he does. Especially with this one class he has. I'm not going to go into it because privacy. I've learned a lot about privacy.
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking
about.
But
it's just the pure joy that he has with some of these kids. It's just so cool. And
he's had me come in.
Never would have thought about it
before. Yeah,
it's just kind of crazy. Then maybe you know what? Maybe you'll end up teaching. Maybe you won't.
He's gonna be on one of these episodes. I can probably. I'm gonna fill him in on.
That would really be cool.
Probably.
That would really be cool.
He's gonna be. Well, it was without question that he was gonna be on an episode. that, you know, it doesn't, it, you know, whoever is on the docket or who's in order or who's in line to get, you know, on this and, you know, talk, it doesn't really matter the order. Everybody has their own special place.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's like, let's just, like, get it rolling, let's just go. And let's just do something that
Get it going.
Let's get it going. Let's just get after it.
What was
Let's
it,
get something going.
You remember, this is my mind works very differently than other people.
I know.
I'm hearing it. Let's get it on, like Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
I'm like, why am I thinking about that right now? But I've learned enough to
Claymation?
like, yeah.
Yes, claymation.
I've
Remember
learned enough.
claymation in the '90s.
Yeah.
It was all about the claymation.
For me, if I get out whatever thought is in my head, then it doesn't stay there.
You know,
It's
yeah,
kind of like
'cause
if a song gets stuck in my head, I sing it out, and then it's somebody else's problem.
it's
It's just the way that my mind works.
well, the thing is, our thoughts are so fleeting, and being able to capture them or write them down or
Yeah.
do something spontaneously or record them or, you know, podcast them or something.
Yeah.
Basically, get them out. At least spend 2 times a week, you know, brainstorming and letting out spontaneous creative thought. And people are like a little bit too scared to try like that unfiltered in a particular type of way.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
and
you
these
need
days,
to take the filter off in you. Yeah, there's a lot of culture shock that, you know, could happen if you don't do it the right way.
like if you just brought in somebody that you don't know or you don't know what it's about, or you feel, and then there's people with agendas that are just trying to,
Yes.
you know, promote a certain ideology that you may not even know about or agree with, but
That
they
can
want
slip
you
under
to.
your radar
They
pretty
want,
quick.
you know, it's something like that. That some people, they want you to think what they think. A lot of people,
Yeah.
especially anything in the political area.
Oh, big.
I mean, Twitter is a dumpster fire
I-
for all of that. It's like
Yeah.
some of the stuff I
Trump.
see there. I'm on both sides. Like, I consider myself like a moderate. You know, there's some things I lean to the left on, some things I lean to the right on. I probably, being a teacher, I probably lean a little bit more left than other things. But I see some of these things, arguments on both sides of the spectrum, and it's ridiculous. We're humans. We're gonna die.
yeah.
And you know, let's try to live the best life for everybody on this planet before we just kill each other. You know, I don't like that. Because,
I don't find that we have
little
any.
tangent time there. You know.
Wow.
No, get after it. I don't think that, you know. I have a really good question for anybody out there that would like to respond to it. Where is our option for an anti-war presidential candidate? Because it seems like everybody just keeps doing more wars and more interventions.
Yeah, but that's they don't have a say in
I don't
that.
know.
In the end result, they don't even have a say in that. It's just popular
it's
food.
popular opinion,
On-
and who's pushing the buttons and to make people think the way they want to think.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard just being yourself.
It's hard,
And,
yeah. It's hard enough just being yourself
you know,
and,
a lot
and
of-
getting cast away into these little groups, and you have to go this way if you think a certain amount of options this way, or if you think a certain amount of options this way, you have to go full-heartedly this way.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and
Because
one of the
I'm probably a majority, I would say, left views, and then I have a couple sprinkle of like right views that I think
Yeah.
balance things out on a very fundamental level.
I think this is an American thing, and probably because it's so many things just seem to be in our culture. Do you like this or do you like that? And when I'm doing live streams, sometimes people say, "Hey, do you like this person or that person?" It's like, why can't I like both? Because I
Yeah.
do like both. But you know, like Pepsi or Coke, you know, like there's like blue or red. You know, everything just seems to be one or the other. Whether it's just that's how it's happened here. Like you go to Europe, it's totally different. You know,
It's
it's political.
duopoly.
There's so
There's-
many different things, but we have this dichotomy.
Duopoly.
Duopoly, yeah, or Dua Lipa, isn't that a singer?
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's a girl.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
I think there's
Yeah.
Dua Lipa.
But I don't know if it's America or just ideology. It's just like, you know, you don't have to be just one thing. You can
in
be
Germany
many
they
things.
have like 9 political parties.
England has like 12 or
Yeah.
20, or, like tons of them.
It's just like it's just like, okay, let's cycle through these like a calendar and like
Yeah.
maybe get a little bit of the benefits of all of these, you
Right.
know,
Right.
like instead of
But,
just like
you know,
bing bong,
yeah,
and then
flip the coin.
you know the thing is bad is that the things that both the Democrats and the Republicans agree on are the worst things. It's just like what George Carlin said. basically. It was just like, this is particularly sadistic that it's like when Democrats and Republicans are just like, okay, we're both cool with this, just like,
You know, there's a guy.
let's not even fucking talk about this.
It's
Let's just increase the military. Like, 70,
if you go back
$1
through
billion
some of
dollars.
the stuff that George Carlin used to say, I
He's
love
a
this is
fucking
really
genius.
just he's a brilliant man.
He's one of the most brilliant
And-
abstract thinkers I think I've ever heard. Just
And
like
he's been
creative
gone for
abstract
how
thinkers.
long now? It's crazy to think about some of the stuff that he said 15, 20 years ago. It's like,
George Carlin.
wow. I mean, it really blows
genius.
your mind. Same thing like David Bowie, of all people. Like, I remember seeing this thing talking about
Sure.
the internet in like 1996 or something.
He was talking about the internet in
And-
1996?
Or when it was first coming around, and he just said how much potential that he talked about content and stuff. The words that people weren't using until like 2-3 years ago, but like, you know, like it's amazing just to. Some people really have that the ability to look forward, you know, not just like science fiction writers, but like. And some people, when they look forward, it's just so ridiculously no.
I think
Or, you know, it's just, I don't know.
there's this one
Kind of interesting stuff.
There's this album by Yes called The Ladder that my dad always used to play. And one of the songs on it talks about cell phones, and I must have been 5 or 6 at the time, and we didn't even have a cell phone yet, and then a couple years later the cell phone came out. It was really weird. It's an obscure Yes album. Nobody really knows about that one.
What year is that album?
It's like in the mid '90s. It's like 1997. It's like Yes the Ladder. Look up when Yes the Ladder was made.
Dude, that's such a good
It's such a good song.
The first cell
Yeah.
phones
When the
were like
lightning
a
strikes,
bang,
that's
you know,
the
like
song.
They were like
They were
they were like
Then you had like
they looked
Yeah.
like what Lego block cell phones
Really
look like to
kinda.
Lego
They
people.
really do. Those white, like Hot Tub Time Machine, the guy on the ski
Oh,
slope.
God.
That one.
Oh, why are there so many movies in that genre of corny, ridiculous nonsense?
The Ladder was
on a ski slope.
You want to hear this?
Yeah.
September 1999.
1999. I was like, I knew it was like in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I didn't get my first cell phone until 2002.
Yeah, so it was
So-
like Yes was like, oh, yes, that's
Yeah.
they wrote that's a really crazy album. The album is super in depth, and they have what's his name, John Anderson, the original John Anderson on it, sounding amazing.
There you go.
Some good stuff. You ever listen to Yes?
Here and there, you know. I've been around about. Oh God. You know. Well, sometimes the dumb things you say are like kind of, you know, it's the wit that I was talking about, like just. You know, I probably could have been a comedian, but I didn't want to go on tour.
I think
and
about trying
I
it. I
my house.
think about trying my hand at it because I have a lot of like interesting, absurd thoughts all the time.
The problem with like just a life on the road, or you know, the comedy, you have to like. There's a certain way to do it, or a certain establishment, and you don't have to do it. But if you want to be like on TV or something, that's the way you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
That was never anything I really wanted. I just wanted to be an idiot and have fun. And I'm doing a pretty good job. I'll be honest with you. You know.
I mean, I think.
And I got a retirement plan.
Well, so
Ain't no comedy 401ks, you know.
Yeah, but you could. You could.
Oh yeah,
But when
I
you
still
retire
could.
from teaching, you could just
Yeah.
go do comedy.
I really could.
Yeah.
You just go do
Why
comedy,
not?
like do songs and comedy, like, and you probably kill it.
I
You
would have
probably
fun.
would. You probably do great.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's who knows what'll happen. I don't. I'm just gonna see what happens and have fun. I'm gonna have the most fun possible in my life because I enjoy having fun.
I'm so on that level right now. I'm just about maximizing what I'm doing in my life. I'm trying to just like be as fulfilled as possible. Like if I have an idea in my head and it's like why should there be any reason why you shouldn't go after what you idealize in your head? I think lately I've just like I want to create a lot more. I want to do things like this. I think that this just taking on talking to different people that I want to talk to who have great personalities and have great ideas.
Thanks.
Like, you know, it's just a little brainstorming session, a couple hours every once a week. You
Well,
talk
yeah.
to new people, you get new ideas, you get new pathways, new ways of thinking about things. Like, oh, this week they were talking about this. Maybe I could try thinking about this way. And you know, hopefully, I have people's ideas exchanged in a good way. And you know, basically, it's for other people also. We got 3 going right now.
Wow.
Oh, look at it. We got some comments.
Who's the green person?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. There's
Hi.
green people.
Hi, green people.
Fourth wall
Who's the
broken.
green
Look
person?
at they hop right off as soon as we address
Oh,
them.
hi, green people.
Went back down to
sorry.
1.
Oh, down to 1.
Oh, no,
We're number
no,
1.
no.
Wait, does that count as?
Didn't
Are
mean to
we?
scare you.
Fourth wall broken.
Are we ourselves number 1? That's fine.
Yes. I wanna let's talk more about teaching.
Yeah.
And
Let's
stuff.
talk about it.
What your philosophy about teaching? I mean, I mostly teach one-on-one private lessons.
Mhm.
I don't think I would do well. I'm good in situations like this, like
Right.
with like small conversations, but I have a hard time feeling like everybody's as invested in the conversation when I have to talk to like a lot of people at the same time.
Well, I mean,
You know.
gosh, like the last time I had lessons was at a different school. Like I haven't had lessons in junior high in 15 years, basically. But so I mean, it's all ensemble stuff. It's all general music stuff, and you know, as we go through the years, there's always things that you have to do with education that will be changing. Okay, the one thing I can tell you is that education is always changing because that's what, in my opinion, and some of that's good, some of that's not as good. But I think that the people that make the decisions are not really in the classroom, and or have never been,
Yeah.
and sometimes that hurts. And then it's trying to correct the stuff that hurts, and then maybe it doesn't correct it as fast. So then there's just so many things that are going on in the field of education. But I love what I do. I love the arts in education, and you know, I worry for like
About the
people,
funding.
you know,
I
the
worry
funding
about the
20 years from
funding
now. You know, how much of this will be the same, like in as far as like how it's all put together. I don't know. I mean, it's like I don't know where it's going. You know,
Yeah.
I know a lot of business interests want to privatize education for whatever
Yes.
reasons. Financial gain,
I don't trust them.
Yeah,
to
me
do
taxation gain. I mean, the amount that they would have to pay on taxes for these schools and stuff. It's a real divide of what people feel in this. You know, I think that the government should take care of education, but that's my opinion. And you know what? In these days, in this day and age of all the internet and everything, a lot of people would say, it's like, well, you are employed in a school, therefore your opinion doesn't matter. So I don't talk about it, you know, and it's like,
You can talk about it here.
well, I know.
think-
I'm just
I think
saying
you
in
should.
general. I hide a lot of things in the general thing. Or I don't really hide it. I just don't talk about it because I know what people's reactions will be if I said certain things. And it doesn't matter, you know. It's like too many people are out to prove you are wrong or to make you think what they're thinking. Or to influence you, and you know, I mean, now there's some things like, you know, education wise, as far as like, hey, this would be really cool to have, and if somebody other said no, we're blah blah blah, it's like, well, we could eliminate a lot of problems such as this. Oh, okay, like something like that, where but too many people are just trying to further their own agendas or whatever to like. Or like, you're an idiot. Oh, you saw it. You know, it just.
Yeah, administrative overhead.
I'm going to worry about what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do a great job doing it, and people are going to be happy that I'm doing it.
Yes.
Is it going to change? Am I going to have to not do certain things that I really want to do? Yes, that's just how it evolves. But you know what? In the long run, you know,
You know, it's a god awful.
Kids know how to perform. Kids know about music. They know that music is an important part of their lives. So I'm doing my job.
It's a
So,
god awful
you know what I mean?
crapshoot trying to get the people, the right people in the right positions to have the perspective.
Hey, that sounded like me.
Kids know how to perform.
It is me.
He was just checking out the live stream.
Sounds good.
Just so that we have the perspective, we have the right people in those administrative positions who would actually have the proper perspective, you know, to make.
It's all luck, dude.
Yeah, it's gotta be a god awful. It's
all luck.
It's
Like,
a crapshoot that you don't have somebody
Let's
who's
say
just like a rat.
somebody that's an administrator that's in charge or a superintendent had this really horrible music teacher that just yelled at him forever. Maybe his or her opinion of the arts is just lessened because of that bad experience, and that's
You
know,
it's
I mean,
just such
these
a unique
things. It's because you know, other
people
math
probably,
or science probably wouldn't happen that much, but like
these people might
it's
make,
just possible.
might make completely broad sweeping decisions on anecdotal experiences of what you're saying.
Because I mean, it's just one of those things where it's who knows, you know. It's like you can do all sorts of, and this is not just music. This is just in education. You can do all sorts of research. You can do all sorts of funding. You can theoretically prove that the Earth is round, and there will still be people that think it's flat.
Yeah, we can talk about flat earthers
and
if you want.
Well, it's just and imagine
I was
that,
talking to my big brother about
and that's
this.
for any situation, any subject. You could prove to somebody. You could flat out make everything QED, thus is quid ergo whatever, and they can still say, well, like, yeah, well, bleep you. I'm gonna think what I think.
My theory,
You know, stubbornness,
is that
it's
the
just
flat
something.
earthers are the flat earthers are not so much trying to. They don't even believe that the Earth is flat. They're just trying to see if they can logically, like, connive you to the end that you could believe that the Earth is flat.
Yeah,
it's just like it's like an exercise in logical abstraction,
You know,
or something. It's like
there's-
some other level.
it's like next level
shit.
trolling. you
It's
know.
some next level
Right.
trolling, basically. Maybe I wonder, like, who really believes it, like, really deep in their soul.
Well, there's some that do.
I want to know.
You know,
I want to.
and that's what humanity can do. There's always
Right.
something that it might seem like
Who are these people?
Well, just religion-wise, like there are people that believe in Pastafarianism when it's completely made up, but they believe in the flying spaghetti monster because somebody created this thing where the flying spaghetti monster is their deity, and it's because
It's a critique.
somebody created it up.
It's a critique.
And, well, I know that, but there are people that, even though it is a critique and it is a, why can't it be this? There are people that now believe that as their deity, It's not just a critique. It's like, that's, as a religion, they some wear the colander as a hat for their driver's license picture to prove that it's a religion. That's not a joke.
We're gonna trigger a lot of Pastafarians.
No, I love everybody. There we go. And who am I to say what you should or shouldn't believe in? Yeah, I mean, really, it's all about what you choose.
I bet you there are a lot of upstate New Yorker Italians that believe in this flying spaghetti monster.
Well, I think that's just because somebody threw the spaghetti in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. But religion, there's so many subjects that I don't normally ever talk about, like religion and
you don't
politics.
feel like you have a
especially,
proper platform?
Well, it's like when I'm live streaming, like playing my games on Twitch or whatever. There's certain things I don't want people to talk about because I view them as very divisive topics. Politics and religion are the hugest divisive topics that there are.
Well,
the next thing is
we're cool with it here.
Well, yeah, obviously. But the next thing that people's really divided about is sports.
Oh, I love sports.
I'm
yeah.
Whereas if you don't,
musician sports guy.
if you don't like this one person or this one team. Oh, this person's trash. So, well, you're trash. You know, it's the same arguments.
Oh,
Like,
I know
and
what you're saying though.
This is more in
I've been seeing this
in especially European in soccer, like the Premier League and stuff. Like they're
Nationalism.
so crazy, and it's not even just that. It's like clubism, or you know, just like you know, Arsenal, Liverpool, you know, just like stuff like that. And some of these people would kill over this.
It's like
Kind of like Boston, New York, Red Sox, Yankees. Like there's people that would fight each other just because of
They do.
a team. And
they do.
It's true.
People, people get
Bills
so
fans, they
divisive.
get rowdy, bro.
Oh, they're
People get so
crazy.
divisive
I'm one of them.
in themselves that they aren't able to look at things objectively anymore. You get into this like pathway where like it can't be that way. They can't be good. They can't be normal people like you. They can't they can't be right at all.
You know, fan comes from fanatic. You know.
Yeah, fanatic. I think there's
Well,
a little too much of
to be
everything.
crazed.
There's just a little bit too much of. I think that certain things that people think are radical are actually completely moderate, you know, normal views. I think a lot of things that are, you know, so many jobs are being automated that, you know, a universal basic income is probably a conversation that is going to be having to be had, whether people like it or not. It's nuts because like those automation.
Yeah.
I've been watching like Andrew Yang and Rogan talk
Lots
about that
and lots of other fields in the next 50 years, including my own, including education, will have an
Look
increased.
how much we can learn on the internet.
I know, an increased amount of automation, or and not just automation, artificial intelligence. You know, you get like
Oh my God.
you get like a
We're going down
hologram.
this way.
A hologram, you know, can teach you this, that, and the other thing, but it can also, based on your responses, as the intelligence goes further and further, it will know if you're paying attention and then it will, you know, slap you in the face or something with the 0 or 1.
So via AI
You know.
intelligence, we're going to regress back to nun teachers.
50, well, think about it. It's already happening in manufacturing. It's already happening in, you know, it's sooner or later. I saw some crazy video where, like, these pots were, like, doing the pot stuff by themselves. Like, cooking the food by itself.
Wow.
Automated. Like, the stuff dumped in, and then it was going, like, it was like, you know. Stirring it.
Water
And then I was like, oh,
Tesla
God.
is self-driving.
Self-driving, everything, you know. I personally can't wait for that crap, because I don't like to drive. I like to ride.
I like.
You
Oh,
know?
well, I'm an Uber driver right
Well,
now.
yeah.
I make a lot of money that way. Well, I don't make a lot of money. I make like
some.
enough money.
There you go.
I like make enough money to tread water doing Uber, basically.
But no matter what,
it like supplements my income in a way that like I can do stuff like this, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like I think I'm gonna like do this, and like I'm gonna try to start a recording studio with this guy, and you know, and we'll figure out how to do a bunch of cool stuff.
well, yeah.
I think eventually, but I think that what we're learning is that like, yeah, a lot of things are gonna change, probably in the next 20, 30 years.
But the good news, as far as for creative types, you know, yes, people might be able to teach the stuff, but they won't teach how to put the emotion behind, you know, playing. They won't be able to connect it, at least not while we're alive, I don't believe. Music is something that is like, it's heard everywhere, always. Like, every second you're alive, you have an element of music with it. If you don't believe me, you know, just take your pulse. Your pulse is a beat, a rhythm. You have it within you, and you have it all around you. The sound, vibrations, it's
The way you
it's
wake
just
up,
the way
you wake up and rise in the morning is called circadian rhythm.
yeah.
Like you know, you
for a
react
reason,
to the
yeah.
sunlight. It's just like your existence is a rhythm, is a repeated,
And
steady heartbeat motion.
The problem with the creative
pendulum
types,
swinging.
and not just musicians, but like artists and that sort of stuff, and poets and writers, it's becoming more and more difficult to live off of just that. All right, like
Yes.
you yourself said, like you drive.
Yeah.
The Uber Duber.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, man.
you know.
It is what it is. I think I meet lots of cool, interesting people.
Well, yeah.
And I feel like I provide like, yeah, I like that little niche in society, and I like that it's like this part of my life right now. I'm like, I'm like a single dude in my late 20s. That's like, why the
I can't
frick
believe
not?
you're in your late 20s.
Why not do
That's so
that?
crazy. Like, I've known you for a long time.
How many years?
15 years.
It just seemed like you just started working at Donovan
This
the
is
other day.
like, I'm just about to finish my 22nd year overall.
Wow.
And that's just not when it really is going to hit is when I start next year. It will, like, my birthday is in December, and I will turn 46, and this is my 23rd year I'm going to be going into. So it will literally be half my life.
Wow.
And that's really, it's like everything up from like growing up, pooping my pants, you know, kindergarten, to where I got out of college.
Accelerate, and then
that will be half, you know. And
yeah.
I'm just thinking, oh my God. And I'm still like, I'm at this weird point in my life. I probably it's called a midlife crisis. It's like I've done this for so long. You can't have one yet. You're too young. You have a quarter life crisis. That's different.
That must have been what
That's
called.
I'm like, wait, I'm gonna be long. I'm living this long now. Oh man.
No, I like just lie to myself in my own head and say you're only gonna get to 54.
Oh wow.
And then
what if you're wrong?
I just lie. That way I get more out of myself.
Yeah, that's true. Like, but it's like I just thinking about all the things I've already done, and which is just so cool, and things that I want to do. You know, there's you start to think about. I need to start really kind of doing those things, or I might not get to it. You know.
That's exactly how I feel.
That's like if let's say I had like a wife and kids and other stuff. The amount of distractions, you know, from my stuff, my own personal things, you know, it might sound selfish, but it's like just saying if I had that, there would be no way that I could do the stuff I want to unless I budgeted the heck out of everything, and unfortunately, what if my kids don't love me that way, you know, anymore because you know. Well, my non-existent kids that you know.
No, yeah, hypothetically.
You're
what you're gonna
do,
dude.
Well,
and then you have done, it's neglectful.
You know, it's funny, like.
No, I see what you're saying, though. The amount of attention that you divvy up,
if you're trying to like do
delegate yourself.
It's
we all
really
have to treat ourselves as somebody to be negotiated with. You're both your own boss and your own employee at the same time, and you have to be like, okay, if I was my own boss right now, what would I tell myself to get myself what to do? If I was my own employee right now, what would my boss have to tell me to get what he wants out of me?
Most people don't think like that.
So yeah, you have to negotiate with yourself, and then when to take on things like that. I've been saying this recently because it's something that I've been wanting to like crystallize in my own thought, and like it's not anything against, you know, relationships or women. I'm kind of like, I haven't spent much of my life in monogamous relationships, but what I find is that men have to have drive and purpose. They have to have a goal in mind, and they have to, you know, go after what they want in the world. And that most of the time, sometimes what happens is that when a woman enters the equation, the woman takes that attention and away from those things, and you know, a guy was going after his goals and his pursuits and his self-fulfillment, and as soon as the attention is taken away from those things, the little shining thing that was kind of attractive about him goes away, and she doesn't know why that she brought it onto herself.
That is
that attention onto herself. It's just a subtle thing.
Relationships change people.
It's a subtle thing that I think happens in a lot of relationships that I don't think people are realizing, that people need to be achieving self-fulfillment as much as possible. Like while in the relationship, it's just.
And depending on the relationship, like I know people, you know, myself included, where when things didn't go right, like because there's sacrifices that people make, you know, for the relationship or for the other person, whether it's just time or like if something as mundane as going to the store, you know, something that's time where, hey, if this person went to the store, I could do this or this, that, and the other thing. But and then you could think, well, if I don't go to the store, I'm going to hear about it later. You know, there's so many, like something as small as that, you add that up over time and stuff. These are things that you could keep doing these things.
Self-reliance is super healthy.
It really is. And a lot of people don't really have it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A little too much codependency, a little too much comfort, not enough, like...
Or just insecure in your own beliefs or yourself because you need to have somebody else.
You haven't spent that time with yourself.
Yeah.
You haven't gotten that time with yourself. Lots of people need more time
Or
with
a lot of people don't want it.
Yeah.
You know? They just want what everybody else has.
It's
They
just
want
like,
the family, 2 kids, picket fence, you know. Like,
yeah, so I want that icky,
those sorts of
I
things.
want that warm, comfy, snuggly, like, stuff. But also, the thing is that zaps something out of somebody.
For some people, yeah.
Yeah, it zaps that little drive, that little edge. It just softens them a little bit where they just can't, like, force it or summon it out of themselves. It's a little too
Or
much coddling.
they
or
snuff
something.
it out themselves because they want to make sure that this
A little too much coddling
thing
sometimes.
works. You know, like the family or the relationship or whatever. And yeah, I mean, you see a lot. Like how many times, and you'll find this out the more and more, especially
I'm
as a Uber
I'm
guy.
figuring it out. I think.
You hear people, they talk about, oh, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that. And it's because a lot of the times
I hear that all the time. That
they
story all the time.
They stop believing. You know, they do what Journey said not to. You know, he says don't stop believing.
You got it, bro.
They stop
I
believing.
mean-
And you know, it's so easy these days to stop believing because, oh, I don't have enough money, or oh, I don't have enough education.
Oh, what
I
if
don't
they
have
see
enough
me
this.
doing this?
Oh, like I could never do this because what if they saw me? You know, like all
Yeah.
sorts of people make up so many excuses, or they just get complacent. You know, that's not just
Yeah.
that's not just here. That's in the world. You know.
And maybe if we make a couple songs, maybe we need to make But then again, if you go too far this way, you could take yourself way too friggin' serious.
Yeah.
Also, so you could become a complete hard ass that nobody wants to talk to.
There are some people that do that.
You could. I've flirted with that edge.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep a nice balance, as far as like being a little goofy. Well, let me just rephrase that.
Well,
Outwardly,
in your job, you have to, have
there's
a certain type
parameters.
of
I follow
rapport.
them. Yes, like, but like you'd be surprised if a kid knows that you care about them, and they know that it's not just BS.
For real, you authentically want to see them.
The amount of
spark.
respect and other stuff that just automatically happens just goes way up. Now, luckily, I like kids. I like teaching. There's plenty of people. The longer you do it, and the longer you do the stuff, and maybe they don't have a good year, and maybe some things change where they're not happy, and then maybe they have worse kids, and then it just you can get burnt out. And there's times where I've gotten a little burnt out, not like other people that I know, and that's this is like the first year that I've felt more burnout than ever before, and I think some of it's just it's a myriad of factors, and some of it just might be me getting older,
Yeah.
and it is some of it because I've thought about things, and maybe not having the energy to bounce a comment back it's kind of sneaky but funny,
Yeah.
but still respectful and not in a combative way. It's playing the game, and sometimes you just get
you have a great
sometimes we get tired.
personality, and you just you want to come up with the proper thing for a class setting, to say, you want to know the right thing to say all the time, but sometimes it's a different season, and it's a different game of life a little bit than sometimes it was at other points.
Right,
You have
and
to-
other
you have to
times
use different things to your advantage. Maybe you foresee a little decline in your wit in class and report, but what you don't have for that you have in wisdom now.
Well, yeah, like your mind goes a little bit here and there. But
Yeah.
a lot of it is sometimes, in what I teach, we're, in the younger schools, they don't have it as often, and they may not seem to sometimes the kids don't get enough time in the arts and physical education and art, art, music and stuff. And that's probably like everywhere. I don't really know, but maybe sometimes kids don't feel like it matters as much as like say science or math. So, and that sometimes as soon as a kid doesn't think that it matters, it just makes it much more difficult.
I think.
But I've had that issue for every single year I've taught. So,
I don't know.
but what I do is I use my wit, I use my love and pure joy for music, and somehow I find a way to get, to get that rapport with the kid. Even the kids that may not get them with other teachers. It's just like, it's something that people know it's not an act, because I want what I do to matter to them, but not to force it, but to encourage it. Even if it's just like, and because music is something that you're always going to have every day, every single day. When you go home, you're probably going to listen to music. And
Most people do.
And it's finding some sort of common ground, even if it's not like music. Like some kids that like wrestling stuff, that's an easy one, because I know I've met some people that are cool.
I mean, yeah,
But
I've been like I've went so much in my life.
it's a neat little thing.
I got a certain way. Like after, I got about halfway through my bachelor's degree, to the point where I was spending so much time focusing so intensely on sounds and music that I would go home and not listen to music. I would be it was just I've been focusing and working on this so much that I don't even want to process sound in my brain. I've gotten to that's burnout, and yeah, and so eventually maybe it's good to balance your life and other things. Some kids like wrestling. I mean, later on in life, I was at a jiu-jitsu seminar today.
Yeah, your dad told me that you're gonna be Kung Fu Jones or something.
I'm only a white belt at it, but I think it's the coolest shit ever.
That's cool.
And I just and honestly, it's revitalized the way I see music. It's as a puzzle, as the way things work.
Yeah.
And I find that my music career is it incubates for sometimes, and then it just pops out. And I think that I'm finding more consistency in my life and how to maintain output the right ways. And I think taking care of ourselves, exercise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in lots of other countries, by the time a kid is 12 to 13 years old, he's isolated a specialty. And instead of hindering these kids for 6 more years on stuff that they don't want to do, you probably have so many kids in your music class that don't want to be in music and have one thing that drives
school. But that's the way it is.
That's a lot of the problem that I might have with it, and I have a little bit of a weird time. I take one student at a time here at my house, and I teach them cello or guitar at a rate. And I know they want to be here because they drove up here, they came out of there, and I know they want to be here, and they've taken
big hill.
Yeah, you gotta drive up the hill. You gotta come out of your way. Make time. And that way I know your commitment is real. And then you're in public school and it's okay, you have to, fill this requirement, so you have to go there. It's just maybe this person, really, really wants to be doing something else. And it's just we really, really, really should be finding the specialty,
and that's,
or the trade, or the thing that they should be going
that's
for.
something that's not going to change, as far as education ages and all this stuff, that's something that it's never gonna change.
I feel like I mean,
in a nice way.
We could have the conversation. Maybe things change, but I don't
mean,
know.
politically and all this sort of stuff, the amount of energy and effort that it would take for things to change.
To revamp it on that level.
And it's ridiculous amounts of stuff.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty radical, right?
I don't see it happening.
I don't know how they. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it in Germany, where it's by the time you're 12, it's oh well, you're gonna be a bricklayer. You like to do that. You like these jobs.
It's different.
Types of jobs.
Different places, different. you know,
And
things.
then imagine having just like
America's
only,
about freedom.
yeah.
Freedom to do whatever you want, which sometimes is maybe you don't want to do anything. That's
Right.
that's the thing.
Yeah, and that's also a thing. Some people just don't do anything. I mean, I think that we have to just chase after something, even though if we don't know what it's going to turn into.
I agree.
And
you know,
some people don't even have
it's just
that.
the thrill of being alive.
Some people don't even have that little switch turned on in their brain yet. Like, it's just like you could flip somebody's switch. Like, it's just like, oh, something happens someday. It's just like, oh, I gotta go chase that. Like a dog wants to
Well,
chase
you know,
a
here's
car.
just an example of somebody that I'm really close with. My friend Johnny. He is
John.
Johnny Ridlin.
All right.
When he was mid-20s, he was a semi-pro wrestler.
Whoa.
And I met him through all the internet stuff, and he's a large man, and he does a lot of body painting stuff and cosplay things like.
Oh, cool.
He's dressed up as the Kool-Aid Man. He's dressed up as Pikachu many times. Well, anyway, he had about 30 or 40,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Sweet.
And then he felt like he needed a job. He felt like that, and then he was either getting burnt out from YouTube because it can definitely burn you out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time and effort that goes into some things, and and if it's your only source of income, it's a huge burnout thing. I've seen it happen to a lot of people.
Really. This is good things for us to know.
Yes.
We're just starting.
And
we've barely started.
he didn't make videos for like 4 years, and
Oh wow.
I met him through live streaming stuff, and he just like do you guys know what TikTok is?
Yeah, I've
Okay,
seen
it's like a
that.
small form. It's kind of like Vine but different.
Yeah.
I'll write that down.
TikTok, TikTok.
Yeah, I just see the advertisements for it constantly. It drives
Yeah.
me crazy. It's
Like
it's gotta stop.
it's short form video, either 15 seconds or like a minute. Well, anyways, he started doing some of these things there. And,
Okay.
And like in a month, he's got 100,000 followers.
So in his
But
it's just
and he took
okay.
some of those things and finally started making some videos again. So it's like sometimes that break, and it's also because he's got some other things that he's not as happy about with that I'm not going to put on the
Of
internet.
course, don't need to.
And so it's just like, but my buddy Alex and I, we've always tried to encourage him to keep on doing it again. But it took like 4.5 years to get him to want to do it. Again,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like you can show somebody there's the door, but you can open it for them, but you cannot make them walk through.
Yo,
it,
yeah,
know?
There's gotta be some days that
It's really, and there's a lot of people.
There's gotta be days that Picasso woke up. He's like,
Dude, I don't
really
yeah.
feel like fucking painting today.
Like, I mean, that was
it's gonna happen, dude.
It was called a blue period for a reason. It wasn't just I like blue. It was like, dude, this sucks.
It's like that plateau, you know. It's like you're really excelling and getting anywhere.
You know what I recently started doing on cello that's gotten me into like a new like practice like groove is that I want to learn how to do more improv in like bluegrass and folk style.
That's cool.
And like fiddling style and like jig like
1-5. There you go. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Boom,
Right, right.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh well, I mean, if you're just playing the bass, it's really that's not that hard.
But I've been looking into these bluegrass folk fiddlers have this technique. It's called a chop, and it's like
Yeah, that's
and
a
it starts
percussive
turning
thing.
into a percussive thing.
I know exactly what
And
you're talking
eventually you can basically it's like you're comping on a guitar.
Mhm.
Right, and like kind of like ghost noting and stuff. I've been like trying to learn how to do that, mix like bluegrass and blues licks and stuff into my cello playing.
That's cool.
And I've been like, okay, now I could probably like, if I get proficient at this, like really good. I've always had a good ear for improv, and like that's basically probably one of my strongest skills as a musician is just like I could I really like making complex musical equations out of notes and scales and stuff in little hyperactive little chunks. And so like I like to like stretch out and use chromaticism and like fuck around and like play wild crazy stuff on jazz and blues chords, but like I want to learn how to be a good cello player, like that would work in a band, like or like be a card holding jazz cello player, like that would be like something. But that's like, you know, that's a small goal of mine. It's not even a small goal. It's just that I have to assimilate all of the other things that I've learned most of my life. I just, you know, I know jazz guitar, and you know, I've taken, you know, jazz improv classes on the cello, and it's just like, I don't think anybody's quite scratched the surface enough. There's some guys out there doing some stuff on the cello. There's that Rashad Eggleton dude. He's
Not familiar.
you love him. He is an absurd human being. He does. He's cool. No, you particularly would be very into it. He's quite.
I
the
am
character.
also an absurd human being.
He wears all this funny stuff, but he has these really interesting like bouncing bow techniques and stuff. But he also like makes up languages and talks like a troll like person. Like he's like all out there, dude.
Oh,
He is an eccentric fellow.
Okay.
And you would dig his internet. He's got probably. I want Rashad Guy listening on this show.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Yeah. He's. I have no idea. I need to find this
You should
person.
probably look that up.
I need to find this
He
person.
lives next door.
I need to find this person, but like, I mean, I don't think. I probably wouldn't care if we like found an Instagram video and played it, but like on our podcast. But like, he is a funky dude. He is a weird person. And then there's a couple other guys who have like scratched the surface. Their name's Stephen Braun and like who else? Mike Block is another dude who's like doing some like other genre cello playing and stuff.
Okay.
But I mean that's just, you know, just the way that I've been. There's things that haven't been explored yet in this though, and there's new horizons, I think. And you know, have you ever heard of Turtle Island String Quartet?
No.
You gotta. They're like a jazz string quartet.
Okay.
They do in rock stuff. They'll do like Jimi Hendrix and Beatles covers, but like in super crazy, like involved, like string arrangements.
Okay.
Like
That's cool.
yeah, I'll show you some stuff. I'll send you some stuff sometime.
Yeah.
Like but there's so many more horizons. You know, there's probably new ways to teach kids music too that we haven't thought of.
I mean, I'm sure there are. Like, I know that there's some of the stuff that we would do if we had the materials that we could do. Yeah, but we don't have them yet, you know?
So, explain more.
I really can't get into that too
Okay.
much, but
Okay.
it's just, I know that someday it will happen eventually.
Okay.
It's just when it does, I don't know.
Right.
You know, and I'm not. I want to make sure that I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
I'm
It's just that we could do
I'm just
more.
aware that I'm aware of other stuff that we could do, but there's always like the constraints of, you know, there's always constraints.
Bureaucracy, politics.
I did not say that,
I did though. I can say that.
but
I can say that. I'm allowed to say that.
just,
I'm outside the system.
I am not. Okay.
I'm outside the belly of
Bruce
the
believes he's a sovereign citizen.
I am a sovereign citizen.
So
I mean, we are telling.
Good luck with that.
We're broadcasting to Big Brother right now. We're like,
Oh.
hello, we see you.
Hey. Oh, is there two people?
Yeah, we got three, I think. Or is it 2 or 3?
Hi, you're a wonderful person. Unless you're a jerk, but you can't be if you know these guys.
Yeah.
They're good people.
There's some people that probably authentically hate me.
I know. He doesn't know.
I mean, sometimes.
You know, you can't please everybody. You can do the best
you
thing
can't
to
make
please
everybody
yourself.
like you.
No, you can't. Even
You have at least
Even me.
112,000 people out there that like you.
well, do they like me or do
I
they
like
just
you.
click a little button? You know, you gotta think
you know,
about
I
it.
think about that too. You know, it's like
Like,
how many
how
people
much-
like actually sat there.
What does the click really mean?
But honestly, I think that
That means that
you
they,
really do
they
have.
clicked a button that said
Yeah.
They
subscribe.
I mean,
But in all honesty, you know, there's a lot of that number. Those are people that
Actually, pay attention, follow.
they don't even get notified, and this is a YouTube issue.
Oh, okay.
They don't even really either play the game that I play more, but they still like me, so they won't unsubscribe or anything.
Yeah.
But like people's people's changes. Like staying relevant on YouTube is very difficult.
I can imagine.
You know,
man.
I would
There's so
definitely,
much
you know,
content
like
out
how
there.
you guys
There's so much
said,
stuff. Like,
They're
Yeah.
corporate. They're looking a little bit more
Massive.
corporate lately.
very corporate.
We're looking a little bit more like that.
Very,
Like I wonder like
you know,
what.
it'll be
what's-
interesting to see what
Can we
happens.
talk a little bit more about the other platforms? Like, what are some other good platforms out there that we should be maybe looking at with this that we're doing here? Like, we're gonna use the iTunes podcast. We're gonna probably do Spotify,
Yeah,
SoundCloud.
podcasting, the streaming stuff. Like there's all sorts of decentralized things. I don't know how much you guys know
I
about.
think you know a little bit more about this.
Cryptocurrency.
You've been in this.
I've been
this
around.
Stuff.
I've been
Oh.
paying attention.
I don't know enough about cryptocurrency either.
Yeah, it's
I know
It's hard to,
Bitcoin
like-
was a thing a couple years ago.
it's yeah, it still is kind of. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some platforms like Twitch is not just about gaming anymore.
Oh yeah. They're just doing
there's
everything.
Like
Is Twitch
you could
just
do
like
this.
other stuff
Yeah,
now?
you could do this on Twitch. you
This
know.
is so Twitch is just like now analogous to YouTube, like or a simile or similar enough, or just they're the same.
It could, yeah, you could do. They're basically the same, but like it mostly is just live stuff though.
But
You can upload stuff to it, but at this point it's live driven, whereas YouTube is more a video is uploaded and there you can live streams have happened there. I've streamed on both places. I make money from both places.
Okay.
It's yeah,
Huh.
it is what it is. Like I've been making money from YouTube for over 10 years now
Wow.
because I got partnered 2009 May.
Wow.
It's just insane.
Well, how does that work? How do they?
Yeah.
All those
How do you do
videos,
that?
all the ads at the beginning of a video,
Yeah.
it's basically a split between you and Google.
Yeah.
Sick. So
Yeah.
how does that pan out? I mean, if you don't mind me.
Lately,
no, we're curious. We're breaking.
Lately,
so-
not
so-
very
so-
well. I have not been putting anywhere near as much content out
Sure.
that I have in the past. But my best month ever, I made $2,500
Okay.
Wow, really?
from just ads.
No way, dude.
No, dude, that's
So,
it's
that was
no.
1 month. You know,
That's sick.
People think I'm just fucking around.
some of my friends have made more than 100,000 a year from YouTube.
Holy.
No. What the hell?
Yeah.
And some of my friends that used to make that amount are making zero from YouTube now,
Sure. Sure.
or hardly anything because staying relevant is ridiculous. It's hard. You know, there's but the opportunity to gain revenue is still there for everybody. Like what YouTube is designed for.
It's still there.
It's still there. Same with and any live streaming platform is going to have some sort of monetization, or else people aren't going to want to do it because that's where they know all this other stuff is gone to.
Okay.
So there's lots like podcasts. They're on Spotify. They'll be monetized if they aren't already. I know
Yeah.
some of my music is on Spotify. So
Yeah.
the Food Heating Rhapsody and crap I made up in my living room.
Yeah.
Those albums there.
I think everybody should check those out.
I think you
They're
should
really-
too.
I think they're good. I like your stuff.
I make almost 1 cent if you stream it, depending.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But
It depends on but hey, you get something that 1 million streams in a month, man. That's
That's a lot of pennies,
self-publishing.
yo.
And this is all those things I made are things that were not really recorded in the studio. I mean, none of them were. They were
no,
recorded
they look
in
at
my
they
house.
look in your cell phone.
You don't have to have a wonderful setup. You don't have to have a gorgeous recording. If you have something that sounds good, people will listen to it. you
Yeah.
know? However, you might lose a lot of control stuff in those things. But if you have like a decent recording setup, you can record in a lot of people like live recordings because they happen live.
Yep.
A lot of people I would be in that sense of like my stuff, even though it's not live, it's that
one
live
shot,
feel.
one take,
It's
yeah.
like I'm one and I'm done, unless
Yeah.
it was really bad, and then I'll redo something.
Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
that's designed from a me personality thing.
Yeah.
It's not designed for you know.
But as we discussed, that's like, but your art style is an anti-perfection.
It's an
critique.
It's like the opposite. It's the yang to.
That's so
you know,
punk rock
Wagner.
of you. It's so punk rock of you, Eric.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Wagner and what he would do. You know, in the 1800s. Like everything that guy did. Like I don't even know.
Wagner, oh my god.
Or today, I guess. Like,
oh my god, Wagner is the most. Oh,
just the amount of stuff that he was like. Today, I would liken it to, let's say, Lin-Manuel Miranda. You know, somebody that's he does all these, you know, composition, all the Broadway stuff, all the acting in his shows as well. You know, like Hamilton and In the Heights and Moana, making all the music and stuff. The dude is just like, but he's awesome. You know, I mean, but he's really into all that stuff. Whereas I really enjoyed the career of the teaching stuff. And you know, if I had to live off of just compositions, I think what I would really put out there would be so much different. You know, like it would just be different. You know, and something that might eventually happen is, you know, maybe I switch to just writing songs for other people. Yeah. You know, like
you could do.
Like Richard Marx, he had a solo career and then started writing for other people.
Oh, you know, like, I don't know enough about Richard Marx. All I can think about
is interesting, actually.
Richard Marx. I'll write that down. I'll look into. Wait. I should. I gotta write down things that I should send you. And then,
yes, you should.
I keep thinking about how. You said Wagner, and you'll really appreciate this. This is a fun story. How basically it's very simple, very quick. But the memories were formed watching me and my friends in my college home in Potsdam on Main Street. We had a party the night before, and we had basically an entire leftover keg. So what we did the entire next day throughout the weekend was we watched The Ring Cycle by Wagner, just trying to finish that other keg. And
oh my gosh!
And you know how long you know how long the Ring Cycle is?
12 hours.
Isn't it like 12 hours?
It's like 3 or 4 3-hour operas.
Yeah, or 3 4-hour operas or some shit.
It's like one or the other.
It's like 3 parts, and you know you can go to Germany and like go watch that. It's just like, oh my god, unbelievable. Like some masterpieces are 12 hours long, but we watched as much of it as we could and drank as much beer as we could. Yeah.
I remember those days. I don't drink anymore, but I used to do a good amount of it.
I rarely drink. I drink like once or twice a month if it's like a special occasion out with a friend. Besides that, I'm like doing an Uber or trying to have a gig on a late night on the weekend. That's what I'm doing most of the time. Besides that, I try to write a little bit. I'm working on a cello sonata. I'm trying to finish that. I need to finish that.
Well, you need to finish it.
Yeah, I gotta finish that.
Do it now. Finish it now. Right now.
Finish that sucker. Pretty much. Yeah. I've been just about. I'm pretty much. I have it all planned out. I just have to finish it. I have to work on this recording with him and his brother. Yeah, I have to finish that.
Remember, life's what happens when you make another plans.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
No, it is.
John Lennon did.
Yeah, but certain things are just like you have to, like, people, sometimes, you know, you get a bug up your ass and, you know, you're more amped up to do something and get people to get in on it than, you know, they're ready to be at this point in time. Sometimes they're not ready to, you know, follow the lead. Sometimes nobody wants to take the lead, unfortunately.
You got, especially like today.
You know?
Or somebody might want to take
Some
the
people,
lead, but people
are
won't
so
want to
afraid to
follow
step
that person.
up.
You know?
People are really afraid to stand out, I think, more than ever. These people really, really, really want to be like ostrich stand at the ground, like type of life. Like I think really people really, really, really are afraid to, you know, make any sort of sudden movements.
Well, the ones that matter the
too
most do. You know, the ones
so.
the ones that are here to change humanity for the better, hopefully, or for the worst, unfortunately.
Everyone's got best thing, right?
It's just like the choices that you make.
You should watch Game of Thrones.
I'm not.
He won't watch Game of Thrones.
No. Well, I mean, you know that there's not going to be any new ones, so you can.
You can always
Catch
catch
up
up.
at
You
any
can always
time.
catch up when you're 40.
Here's a hint.
might do
It's not real.
I know.
Yeah, it's not real, but it's
not real.
awesome.
But I
It's
got,
freaking awesome.
I got into it like, oh god, like it was halfway through season 7. I watched from the episode 1, season 1 to middle of season 7 in a week.
I did something like
I
that.
binged
Also.
the crap out of that. And
My
it
brother was like,
so
I haven't
cool.
seen you all week. My big brother John was like, where have
Yeah.
you been all week? And I was like, yo, I started watching Game of Thrones. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, of course.
It's just kind of
That's where you were
It's
for
so weird
60
that it's
hours
over.
straight.
It's like right now it's got to be almost. I feel like it's
It's
almost,
over.
No, but like right now it's probably what 9:30.
Yes.
It's 8:30.
8:30. Well, it feels like it's almost time for Game of Thrones because it's a Sunday night.
Yeah,
Right,
but it's not.
over.
It's over.
It's
So
over now.
It's like, but it's like you just get that feeling. It's like I know it's coming soon.
I rewatched that episode, the last episode, the other day, and I got to a certain point, and I'm like, oh, I know how it friggin' ends. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
It's-
I was so tired. I needed to
The
go to
task that they had to do, it's like let's make what normally would be 10 episode season. Let's just cut it down to like 6 episodes.
bed. Yeah.
That really did themselves a disservice. Because you really could
I
have.
think they did a really good job, though. Still,
I loved it.
It was
Some
pretty
people
savage.
hated it.
That was pretty wild.
You know,
That was pretty wild.
Yeah. I seen somebody put up like a post.
A lot of people-
Facebook.
you can't please everybody, and that's
You know.
just the way it is.
But it was
Yeah, I
referencing
know,
how
I-
The Sopranos still was like way worse than whatever Game of Thrones.
Oh,
they tagged it out.
but I mean, the fact that it's still how many
I've been
years?
thinking about watching the
That house
Sopranos
is up for
again.
sale right now.
Sopranos is sick, dude.
Like the
You
Sopranos
watched
house
The
is up for
Sopranos all the
sale.
way
Is
through?
it really?
Yeah.
No way.
Have
Yeah.
you watched it backwards, forwards?
Oh yeah, dude. I've seen the whole thing.
Like,
Me
I
and my
stopped
old
for a
man-
while.
Yeah, me and my old man were watching
Okay,
it, actually.
okay.
Sopranos was good. I remember that, man.
I was
Yeah,
into it, and then I wasn't.
Well, no,
you know?
dude. I'm telling you, that last episode,
could go
we just
back.
were like, "What the fuck?"
Black
I
screen.
should go
That
back.
was it, dude. They just got out. It was like something so.
But
clever
everybody,
was
I mean,
happening.
here it is. What 10, 15
it sucks.
years later, people are still talking about it.
Yeah.
Or 10 years later.
Yeah, here I am talking about it. You know,
Yeah.
somebody is.
Was that what they played
Yeah,
at the end of that?
that's the last song.
I didn't even ever like watch Sopranos like that. I didn't even really watch The Sopranos.
Just cut to black. It's like
I know that's how it ends. I'm like, but
there's like, and that's the problem with some shows that everybody really gets into and loves. The ending, like, just doesn't make it happy for people. You know, like Lost. A lot of people were confused as heck about that.
I've never gone.
I couldn't-
I've never
I
gone into the
couldn't
bushes on that
A
one.
lot of people, I never watched Dexter, but a lot of
Yeah,
people said they
I did.
hated Dexter's ending. Or just
I'm like,
didn't
I'm
get
like,
it,
I'm like content. I like
you know.
set myself up to like not give a shit about the way.
Well,
the
yeah,
end
I mean,
goes.
some people,
Usually.
when people are,
I can usually call the ends of shit that I'm watching,
Yeah.
but like I set myself up not to
like, I
really
called some of the
care.
stuff at Game of Thrones, the things I wanted to happen.
Yeah,
happen.
I called a couple of things. Yeah. It's but the thing is that like I know it's ending when it's ending.
Yeah.
You know.
But
That
I mean,
was
you
the
still get
last
people that
episode.
cosplay like everything, you know.
Yeah.
As long as there's like cosplay shows, then people will be cosplaying
Yeah.
and all sorts of stuff.
All right.
People are really into stuff. I can't see
Yeah.
myself dressing up as something else.
I
Walking
can't
around
see
trying-
that
I'm
at
trying
this
to be-
moment.
It's so
But
hard.
if I have a hot wife that wants me to, I'm probably gonna do it. You know, I mean, let's be honest. Like,
yeah.
motivation and other things. You know, what I'm saying?
Full circle. Full circle.
Sounds fun.
Well,
Comes around,
you should show
it
her
goes around.
the gas station pizza
Maybe
song.
she will love it.
Yeah, right.
You want a girlfriend that loves the gas
I
station
want-
pizza song.
This is a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
But,
you
you
start
know,
dressing up like Deadpool and
For
going to
real.
these conventions. And I
Yeah.
think you're in, though. I mean, it's
I call myself Fat Pool.
fair pool.
But all in all,
Jeez.
I'm really happy with who I am. And,
Yeah, man, you
the
should
person
be.
I want to be is still a good person. And you know, I try not to take advantage of people.
Of course not.
And no matter like who they are, and whatever. So it's just like I'm doing okay with this life stuff so far, and I just want to keep on doing this. I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of stupid mistakes, and I'm sure I'll make more. But
we all, you know.
yeah, I'm just trying to make the world a better place, sort of, kind of.
I think
One bok chicken at a time.
one bok chicken.
Yeah, I love chicken. Oh my gosh. Yeah, buddy. Oh, you know, like
Yeah, buddy.
that stupid little intro.
there too?
That little thing exists because back in
Gaming and musical comedy. Yeah, buddy.
Back in 2015,
That's the guy.
or 2014,
That's the guy.
yeah, 2014 or whatever. You used to be able to have a 3-second branded intro that would automatically be put on all your videos.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So I thought to myself, okay,
Eric.
what is something that would explain what I do on my channel in 4 seconds or less to everybody? Well, I play games, I make up musical comedy, like funny songs, and I say "yeah, buddy" like all the time, and that's why it exists.
Yeah.
And even so, like now they got rid of that stuff. Like I don't know, 2016 or something like that. But I still have to
use it.
You're coining.
I still. There's people that haven't seen me in a long time that will sing that stupid song to me because
Yeah.
it's like it's branding. It just gets stuck in your head
There you go,
and
right.
like there you go. You know, like yeah, that biggie guy, he's got a fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Or they might not remember the whole thing, but they'll remember the yeah, buddy part and that it's sung. So
Yeah.
you know, it's just like it's basically if you can get. There's so many things that bombard people in their minds. If you can get through it just a little bit of fun and just something silly, it'll get stuck, and then you remember it. Like, here's just an example. Like the dumb Baby Shark song. You know the Baby Shark song. Like the fact that happened and it went all around. Everybody knows that stuff, but it's so stupid, but it's so great. I mean, and I remember hearing it like a long time. It's a camp song.
Think about all the
It's
songs.
like 50, 60 years old.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's just
maybe
songs.
30 or 40, but it's originally a camp song, and then the video that made of it is like 2 or 3 years old, and then it just blew up like around this time last year.
So sometimes
something
these
just happened.
videos and viral things are like in little incubation periods, and like all of a sudden, boom, they go up, and it's like that's been up for 2 years.
Yeah, like one of the things on Twitch is the Ayaya. It's from some anime thing from like 2009 or something, where girls like going to school for the first time and meeting friends, and it blew up all over Twitch. Like it's like if you wrote Ayaya, people would know what you were talking about, even if you didn't know what you were talking about.
I don't know what it is.
It's like, you know, memes
Internet
and like
culture.
it's all memes and memes and memes and memes and memes and incubation sometimes.
There's a kid in my friend group that we've deemed the ambassador of memes. He's
ambassador.
He's the dude in the friend
The
group.
meme master.
Friggin' Dylan.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's always putting stuff.
He's about the memes, man.
It's hysterical.
I don't know why he's about the memes, but he's about the memes.
And I mean, the
They're
shelf
pretty
life
funny,
of those
though.
things does not last very long compared to what
They're-
they used
yeah.
to.
I like the SpongeBob ones. I like it
There's-
when SpongeBob is involved.
A lot of SpongeBob memes. I think.
I like SpongeBob trap music. Have you ever found that?
You've never heard it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. The 5 hours of SpongeBob trap music. Yes.
So funny.
I'm a terrible person for that, but I don't care.
Do you know what's really weird? If I need to like focus on something, this is the dumbest crap. Oh my god. It's the He-Man. What's going on? Do you know what that is? All right, it's the song "What's Up" by 4 Non Blondes. And I said, hey, yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, it's
okay.
It's
I've
like a
heard that.
dance rave version with He-Man singing it. And like there's a 10-hour version like anything that's good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
You know,
And,
there's like weird stuff like that that is
dumb
going
stuff. Oh,
on.
and,
the-
like,
People
on-
just want to hear that for 10 hours.
You know, bacon pancakes. It's a song from Adventure Time.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
the
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
Yeah.
What, combine that with Alicia Keys' New York, and it's like, and it goes on repeat. It's ridiculous how they fit
Some
together.
loop, we're like on some Stephen Reich like minimalism loop shit.
Oh, yeah.
There's another couple examples that I really enjoy. There's the Tyler the Creator saying okay for like 3 hours, and then there's like the Kid Cudi humming for like 5 hours that I particularly like. It's particularly soothing.
Like you said with Stephen Wright, like the old "Come Out to Show Them" thing. I played that for my students before, where
Yeah.
the phasing goes in and out and stuff. Like,
Oh, the phasing.
yeah, like he was.
You've
brilliant
taught
with
your
that stuff.
you're showing your kid. You know what?
Don't do it as
my
much
dad
as
impressed
like-
me the amount of like the
There's a lot
musical
of cool stuff.
concepts that you roughly in a how do you say accessible way
Mhm.
provide musical concepts and ideas to
Yeah.
kids. No, it's not like, okay, this might be a little bit hard for you to access physically doing or like manifesting in
Right.
reality right now, but for you to be exposed to this idea existing now,
Yeah.
that's all you can do right now. You don't know what the things you do, how they're going to influence. Like, I hear things that somebody said to me ringing in my head from like 10, 11 years ago now. And it's just like, oh, that moment going by happens to spur this thought about that thing, about that, and then and then maybe this is a pattern in my life or something, or like what the heck is that?
Sometimes you just have a flash where something that happened in your past actually matters to you today. It's like those TV shows that
It's
use
therapeutic.
the
though,
backwards,
also. It's very
telling the story in the
therapeutic
past.
It's therapeutic just to talk about.
Well, yeah,
I
but
think,
that's just funny,
yeah. A lot of what we do might be nice ringtone.
Do you know what it is?
What is that? No.
It's actually Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Hold Down.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
If I had played if I played it a little bit longer,
I would have guessed if you had to if you held a gun to my head and made me guess, I would have been like, that's
Dude,
something off of a Styx album.
Bela Fleck and the Flecktones did a cover of that, and it's ridiculous.
What?
Oh, it's outrageous.
Of Hoedown?
Yes, it's outrageous.
Oh,
It's
oh
so
my God.
outrageous. It's Bela Fleck. I mean,
I love it.
Oh yeah, it's like
I love
Zappa
Victor
doing
Lewin.
Bolero. If you ever heard of that, Frank Zappa doing Bolero. It's pretty great.
What?
It's pretty great.
Yeah, no, I think I have seen that
What?
before.
That exists?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank Zappa doing Bolero.
Yeah.
On what? On
Well, and the Mothers of Invention, like on their instruments and crap. I had a tape of it
see this.
a long time ago.
You,
I do
who
not
has
have it.
That's
who
what's
has
on
this?
YouTube, man.
It's got to be on YouTube.
Okay, we'll look at that later.
I actually share a birthday with Frank Zappa.
Do you
Oh,
really?
That's wicked cool.
Yo,
And
big.
Kiefer Sutherland.
No.
No way.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Beep,
Very interesting.
beep, 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 beep.
That was another
24.
show I binge watched.
24.
Oh my god! So
My
like
family was way back
I
into
watched
them
5
back in-
seasons of that or
way
4
into
seasons of
them
that
back
in
in the day.
like a week, and I had dreams where I was interviewing my dog, saying, "Who are you working for?"
It's definitely on YouTube. So.
Oh, yeah. Frank Zappa was doing Bolero.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
That's really pretty sick.
Yeah. Don't eat the yellow snow,
Yeah,
folks.
like there's somebody
Don't eat
that
the yellow snow.
you know, Zappa was somebody that really
He had
connected
Steve
to the
Vai in
whole
his
thing.
band.
Oh God, I know.
It-
Most people don't remember that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
It's-
like where he got his. Like,
Yo,
start,
Steve
isn't
Vai
it?
used to take orders from Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he combined the absurd
Yes.
with actual music, like
That's why I love Shostakovich.
like Dancing Fool.
Yeah.
All right, Dancing Fool was a song that was like basically it was like a disco song, but if you listen to it, there's some measures in there are like 10/8.
yeah.
Like, and this was on the radio and stuff, but it's like it was a novelty type.
I have a
song,
piece
but-
that's in 10/8. It's a
I don't.
cello sextet. I wrote a sextet for 6 cellos.
Well, that would be why it says sextet.
Yep. And
And it's
it's
called Man.
and cellos are sexy.
That's that doesn't pertain to why they named that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, ladies. Really knows how to stroke a ball.
That's funny stuff.
No, everybody knows what cello
Oh. The more you know.
Let's fact check this then.
Yeah, dude,
I-
they're one of the
I
most
chose-
sensual. They're like
We must find
they're
out.
like an Olympic version of the human voice, dude. It's like an
Uh,
opera instrument that can do
cellos.
like it's like an opera singer that can do the most insane stuff. Is the way the cello sounds.
There you go.
It's just like with pyrotechnics.
Well, two cellos is up your alley.
Well, there's an
Oh
article.
yeah, those
They're
guys
really
are
good.
cool.
Those are
They're,
cool.
wow.
I actually have a wedding in a couple weeks where they're having me do a Piano Guy cover of 1,000 Years.
Really?
Yeah, for a wedding. I gotta get
We
that
use
one this
we
week.
use What Makes You Beautiful for our final,
Oh,
like how the piano's played in non-traditional ways.
This is ridiculous.
It's
What are
very
you
it's
looking
very
at?
effective.
Well, Urban
what does
Dictionary.
Nicholas have over
Urban
here?
Dictionary is on here. A dead sexy instrument. The cello is a thick piece of wood that is placed between the legs and bowed until sweet sounds are aroused from the instrument.
Dear God.
Yep. There it is.
Cut that one out. Cut that out.
Urban Dictionary. Oh, I can't even talk
I
about
can't
the
even
stuff
believe
there.
it, man.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, the cello is one of the best. You know what? If you have a death scene in a movie, you need a cello.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
It helps.
That's really sexy.
Either that or a French horn, right?
Yeah.
It's really-
French horns are good at that stuff.
Really
French
solidified
horns
your
are
argument there, man.
French horns are good at war.
Oh, yeah.
For war and War of the
They're not
Rings.
used anywhere near as much as they used to.
Oh, you know what? Like music scores, as far as Lord of the Rings, that stuff is good. There's a lot of good. See the music. Just for the music, you should go watch Game of Thrones.
Just-
Ramin Djawadi. How do you say that guy's last name?
Don't know.
Ramin Djawadi,
I
or
think it's Djawadi.
It's Djawadi. Yeah.
I don't know how to say his
I'm a
last name.
fan.
He's really awesome.
I'm a
His
fan
music's
of that.
great.
I'm a fan of what
He does Westworld too.
Does he?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get into that show.
It's cool.
I watched Deadwood the movie yesterday, even though I've never watched Deadwood. I was like taking a 40-minute nap before I went out on a shift, and I just watched some of Deadwood the movie.
Okay.
Apparently Deadwood's a show that people watch.
Yeah. I never watched it, but my dad liked it.
Really?
Yeah. But I know that the movie is out there. But Westworld, there's only like 2 seasons in it so far, so it's easy to like 10 and 10,
Yeah.
like 10 hours.
So
10
he
hours.
writes the music for Westworld
Yeah.
too.
At least he
I
did
mean,
the
I-
theme.
I-
think
I
he
gotta-
does the same.
I gotta watch Westworld just because
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that composer. I'd like to see what.
I'm pretty sure he does the
How he
theme,
does.
at least. And I'm also pretty sure he does
Does
the other
stuff.
stuff. But
Yeah. He's
he's a cool dude.
yeah. Speaking of which, another wedding. Somebody else wants me to do some stuff from Game of Thrones at their wedding.
Come on.
No, they want me to do Reigns of Castamere, the Lannister theme
Dear
song.
God.
They think it's. Never mind.
Okay.
I mean, they have a certain.
The song
Reigns-
is actually a
Reigns
warning.
of. How
Yeah.
do you spell this?
Reigns of
Castamere?
Castamere.
C-A-S-T-I. I don't know actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, the song is a warning. I know that, and that's why, like, if you watch The Red Wedding.
Yeah. No. We gotta be careful about.
Oh, copyright!
Oh,
Less than
that's
12
right.
seconds.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
he would know. He
I
knows
would
better
know.
than us.
This is what you gotta play.
No.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
see. We'll see.
That happened.
Yeah. People know what it is enough, so
Interesting.
you know.
Oh my God! There's 3 people.
Yeah,
I
dude.
was just curious.
Dude, that's way better than the last podcast. We got up to we got 1 or 2.
We're amazing.
That's what you call progress. 4th wall.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
He had to do it.
Oh, I should clip that.
We both like looked at him and were like,
It's like,
"Are you
it's
gonna
your
do
turn.
it? Are you gonna do it?"
All right, I'll
your
do it.
turn.
I'll do it. I
That's so
don't
funny.
know how much participation I'm
Yeah.
supposed to have here.
But I mean, you know, getting back around to it, I think, you know, what you do through your YouTube channel and your what you bring to kids' lives in music class, you know, probably brings a lot of happiness and joy to the world. I mean,
Thank you.
it's really,
That's what the goal is for everything. And
yeah.
and the crazy fact that there is a larger audience, and that I have met some of the people that the kids really like idolize or worship right now. It definitely isn't in. You know, it makes them. You know, it's really cool that kids think that's cool. You know, not just like, oh, he's knows this person. No, it's like, oh my God, you know this person? Oh my God.
You're
Yeah.
like, you know,
So,
you know.
and
like,
just like how it's all happened, it's just ridiculous. It's like
I want to see you
looking
make
the
more
way I
songs.
do, and you know, being the age I am. It's kind of
No,
ridiculous.
it's even
Well, I mean,
better. It's
in
even
the
better
in the
that way.
YouTube, remember, like in YouTube, like
Yo, but-
I'm like 150 in YouTube years. Like YouTube's a younger format for real, and that's nothing that I've never known about. But you know,
I like it.
I don't care.
I
just everybody can do anything. It's just believe in yourself.
I watch more YouTube than television now.
Yeah, a
these
lot of
days.
people do.
I entirely do. Watch more YouTube than television. I
And,
get it for hints and tips on everything that I'm doing all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, oh shit, everybody. It's like
Like,
somebody
or
else
you'll
has done
Google
this.
something and the first thing will show up
Somebody
is
else
a
has
YouTube
done
video.
this.
Yeah.
Somebody else has done this already. Like
Yeah.
I don't need to reinvent the wheel at all.
There you go.
But I did find that there didn't seem to be like a real format for musicians talking to musicians about anything. It was just like I want to
There's
show.
comedians talking in cars about coffee. you know.
Yeah,
Actually, I like
That's
it.
Jerry
I like that
Seinfeld's show.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld's
There's,
show.
but no musicians talking about music. I can't.
Yeah, is anybody else doing this, or did I come up with my niche?
I don't know.
I
You
hope I
should,
did.
you should look some more.
I
And then
think
just
No,
keep
I mean,
doing
there's
it.
things
I
like
looked
there's
it
like
up.
there's
There's
like
other
Romeo. There's just one dude. He's really cool drummer. Jared Falk, I think is his name. And yeah, he does his own thing. He brings people along
Well,
and like does different lessons and like
but those are lesson videos.
So yeah, sort of. But I mean, there's a lot of talking going on too. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm sure there's other things, but it doesn't matter because there's all sorts of different musicians all over the world.
Sure,
so.
man.
I think we're popping off. We got
10.
Wow,
Somebody's cheating.
There was 11 comments there.
Yeah. No, but like I think we don't. I think we have like. I don't think there's another show where
It's on 10 different computers.
Wow, that's pretty funny. I hope not.
No,
That's pretty.
I'm
Say
pretty
thank
sure.
you to your father.
I
Yes.
think.
Thanks, his dad.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
What?
That's pretty sweet.
Okay, we're
So
It's
we're
pretty
outside,
neat the way
guys.
because of the way it is. But I think. I completely lost my thought up.
I can. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, but I think that I don't think that anybody's doing this. For this
Well, it's definitely a neat thing.
long form discussion, like where we could kind of meander into anything. It's not like we can meander into any topic for a little
Yeah,
bit.
like
but
we talked like so much about more just of not just the stuff that I've known and done, but we kind of talked a lot about society in general, and music is always going to play an important role into that society, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
It's-
I think we
it's
should
just
have.
interesting,
We should have
what
some,
it could be.
Yeah.
I think
But
people
what,
have never had like so many people get input, and the artists should all get input into how society goes.
It would be really cool.
It would be cool if we actually got a say in the way
But
things
artists
go.
also
But,
have to be interested in politics too.
But
And
artists
that's
are also typically
probably
poor.
not- that happens as much. I know some of my artistic type friends that are very. They're not up here. They're in like different parts of New York City and that sort of stuff.
Oh,
They're very active in their environments and that sort of stuff, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So
I think it would
they'll
be
be
cool.
strong advocates for us down the road, which is kind of awesome.
I like
Yeah.
I like
Well,
the
we need
potential.
people like that because
Yeah.
that's how shit changes. So.
I like the potential to bring, maybe some positive like exposure to Utica, New York. Also, like, there are some good like old cats around here that like are good musicians, and I find that like there's not as many people our age. I mean as far as musicians, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah. Or they're just
or
people that you don't know yet.
or the people that I don't know yet. But
like I wouldn't even know where to.
I'm trying to. I mean, I need to source as many guests for this show
Yeah.
as humanly possible.
I would look up what places are even still doing open mic nights. I know the Tram used to. I don't even know if they are.
I'm wondering. Yeah, like I think that we're like.
I don't know who else.
Some
is.
cultural revamping. Like we just like have to have a platform and start talking about things, and people will probably come up with good ideas.
Yeah.
And that we could probably get give some of those ideas some legs with enough of the right minds attending to it. Because we have a lot of cool arts in this area, but I think we need to do better exposure of like appreciating our arts people in upstate New York.
That would be cool. Yeah. Oh no! Trying to recover or reconnect. It's trying to reconnect.
Yeah, Wi-Fi took a dump here.
Get it?
Yeah, done like one bar.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Your thing is still recording at least. Your iPad.
Yeah.
2 hours, 14 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go potty.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? What time is it?
It's probably about time to call it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think so.
like 9.
Yeah, let's call it.
I don't think so.
Let's call that a podcast.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're pretty much good with this. All right.